Greetings, everybody. It is, of course, Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you know what that means? That means it's a time check, isn't it? No, it means it's time for the NoRights Podcast. I am your host, Ben. As usual, and joining me, as per usual, is my good homeboy, Ian. How you doing, Ian?
I'm here.
I was checking if he was awake, and I think he turned into a pig for a second, so I don't know. Also joining us this week is friend of the show and host of his own podcast, The Crushcast. Please welcome, and joining once again, Doug. How you doing, Doug?
My anaconda don't... and it's ruined. But ow.
Yeah. You know, somebody was walking around a convention holding a basket of buns and a sign that said, "Looking for anaconda."
That'd be fantastic.
So, yeah. So, let's get this show rolling, guys. What have you been up to, Ian? Tell us about your weekend.
Weekend, well, we were on the Crushcast, is it right?
Yep, on this past Saturday.
Yeah, so that took up our evening on Saturday.
Yeah.
Besides that, I went over to my brother's birthday party yesterday, and he just turned 12, so...
Oh, what'd you get him?
I just got him some cash, man, and a card.
Hey, that's the most welcome gift at that age.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's...
what I want. Freedom!
I understand it's impersonal and everything, and you kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, do I know this person enough to get them anything that they won't be mad at me for getting them? Yeah, what would I want to get somebody? I'd like money. I don't... Gift cards are a scam. Can we just agree with that? Like,
Yeah.
It's like, you can only use this in one establishment. They'll never give you your money back, and you'll always have to spend some of your own money to even it out, you know? So...
Yeah.
I don't know, not always. I've always thrived on getting gift cards and then spending the least amount possible.
I always think it's great how, like, iTunes has the 99... Everything's 99 cents, so whatever you get, it's like, well, I'm always going to have, like, 3 cents left over in my account, and I'm never going to be able to spend it on anything, because there's nothing that's ever going to be 3 cents.
Well, what if you buy 99 songs?
If you're having song problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 songs, but Anaconda ain't one. I don't know. I don't know. It's... Yeah, so... I myself, what did I do this weekend? I don't know. I put together... On Sunday, I did the that week's final Daily Doodle, and then I did a little review of it on Tumblr. So I was like, okay, here's what I started with on Monday, and then some stuff in the middle, and then, okay, here's how I finished it. And I started with an animation, and then I ended with an animation, so I think overall the week came out kind of strong, even there was some... Saturday was a very busy day, and I did something to try and just, like... You know that old artistic trick where you're supposed to, like, draw silhouettes and then try and see forms in the silhouettes and, like, you know, design stuff around it? And they look like weird Dr. Seuss, like, nightmares. I was like, I'm like, I need to draw something better. And I tried to draw, and I was so tired. It was like 10:30 at night, and I was like, everything's coming off kind of melty. I'm just gonna go with these, and you know, 'cause I don't know. I always feel guilty when stuff doesn't look representational enough, when I feel like I'm just playing with the brushes and moving stuff around and it doesn't look like something yet. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, they have a program for that. I'm trying to look up the name of it. It helps you, like, draw forms and stuff for silhouettes and stuff. It was for... I remember seeing it on a series about making video game assets and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you know, I was just making random shapes, and at the end of the day, it's like there's some shape, you know, objects in there, but also a lot of I don't know what it is. So, oh boy, Doug's getting ready to play trivia later, isn't he?
Okay.
Or maybe his head's just getting cold. I don't know. So, yeah. What's up, Cat in the Hat? I have a Cat in the Hat hat. It was actually an elf hat, but I took the bell off the end because I had a real cat in hat, and it disappeared somewhere, so I got that. I also had a really nice pirate hat I got at Disney one time, but then it disappeared as well. Most of my hats disappear. Don't know if it's just nature telling me I shouldn't be wearing hats.
Yeah, hats make your hair fall out if you wear them too much.
I've heard that rumor, and then a stand-up comedian made a good point about that. He's like, yeah, I've heard that, and you know what? It's not true, because I wear pants. Think about that for a minute. Yeah, that's right. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm doing alright with the daily doodles. This week I've decided I'm going to work on, each one's going to be part of a bigger project where I'm going to try and do a shooting gallery flash game. Because, I already kind of made one before for another project that ended up getting scrapped, so I figure I'm just going to make assets for that and then put it together over the week. So we'll see how that goes. It should be. We shall see how cool it actually is, though. How about you, Doug? What'd you do with your weekend?
Spent most of yesterday just, went and visit my mom and came home and just kind of perused for some instrumentals mostly. Did a little bit of house cleaning here in my office and happened upon my ticket collection here.
Yeah, I've got some tickets stuck up on our refrigerator with a magnet, and they've been out in the sun so long. I think some of them are bleached white.
See, the ones I got though are like old school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking just a little VHS holder, and I got,
Man, remember VHS tapes?
I got a ton.
Concerts. I used to go to more shows. I think back in the day, I knew more people in town, so or they'd be going up to Cleveland, and now, Kyle's my usual concert going buddy, and more shows come down to Cincinnati for him. He used to have to go up to Cleveland for him, and he was passing through, so he'd stop and pick me up. So it's been a while,
See, I save the tickets from pretty much every event I go to. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know, even if I get a ticket at some place. I've lately been doing the e-ticket thing, just because. It's I don't want to print stuff out, and I don't want to have to wait at the will call at the box office with all those schlubs. I came for your ticket. What's your name? You have your ID? Oh, wait, it's in my other pocket. I don't know, man. I always feel kind of weird when I go to the concert venue and I'm just wearing, I never bring my chain on my wallet in because I was conditioned not to do that in the early days, but now they don't care. Back in the day, you might get patted down for a camera, and now it's everybody literally carries around an HD camera in their pocket and they talk into it and make calls. It's you can't really police that anymore. I don't know. Man. Am I old man complaining about things now? Is that what this has become?
No.
Oh, man alive. So, anyway, so did you want to just jump into the news, Ian? Because, I wanted to talk about that movie, Print the Legend, because I know you're, big 3D printing guy, and I know, we'd mentioned it on a show, and I finally got a chance to see it recently. And I figured that'd be a midsection of the show. We could also talk about movies that are on our to-watch list, because all three of us are sitting there going, man, I need to watch this movie. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, first let me link you to this article about, or this video about this guy drawing with that silhouette program. He doesn't give a link for some reason in the description, and I'm not sure what it's hard to tell what the program is called in the video, so I'll just link you to the video.
Okay.
And it's hard to even hear him when you guys are talking.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this guy's much more interesting to listen to than you guys, Me and my lilting dulcet tones.
Well, would that be the drive-through lady at a Dane Cook show? You ever seen Dane Cook stand up?
It's not live. I've seen the videos back before he got kind of a reputation for being, the karate of comedy.
He's got a bit where he's talking about working at Burger King and always having to work the drive-thru. And the chick's
Pickles
like,
all over my body.
and the pickles, and the pickles, and the pickles. Ma'am, you apparently want some pickles. Chicken tenders. Sweet and sour sauce all over my body. Ma'am, pull around. She wants it her way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can go ahead and start the news, Ian. I forgot to tweet out the show to everybody, telling people to come and join us live. Oh yeah, come and talk to us, or at least me. Forget these other guys. Just come talk to me. Now that's not even creepier than I thought it was going to be. So ignore that. Continue.
Creepy.
Creeper.
Creepy alert.
Oh, sorry, that's a Minecraft reference. I'm sorry. I hear creeper. I'm like, oh, where? Oh, I'm sorry.
Talk about you, buddy.
Ooh.
Okay, let's just start up the news. Oh yeah.
With Ian.
News with Ian. Of course, Ben has to get that in. Yeah. Of course, every week I try to do about 5 articles every week. It's a pretty good round number. Do you ever talk about news on your show, Doug?
Five's an odd number. Or can odd numbers be round? It's a solid number, I guess.
Only if they don't diet.
But 7, 8, 9, and then 69. I don't know where this was going. Continue.
I just mean it's a good like 5s or 10s or whatever. It's a good chunk of a number, I guess. A good piece that people use, like for adding up. Like, 5 is a popular number in currency, so I don't know. But yes, first article is about guy that had his hand cut off, and he's got a prosthetic hand now, and they were able to put like sensors on his hand so that he could feel. I guess they're connected to brain neurons or whatever, and yeah, so he could feel the like the pressure and like the texture of things. I guess they're able to use algorithms to to really boost that, so you can really feel things a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard about some that they would like sense like hot and cold and a few things like that, be able to relay basic stuff, but as to what you're able to touch, it's interesting.
Yeah, well, the main thing is I guess he wanted to. This was like some kind of work accident, I guess. But the main thing is he wanted to be able to, feel his wife's hand again.
Oh yeah, remember that news story about the guy who before like he had health insurance problems where his finger they asked him which finger he wanted to keep because he couldn't afford to have all of them reattached, so he had his ring finger reattached because he was a romantic. And then the Colbert Report did a spoof of it where they're like, actually he changed it to have all the knuckles put together in the middle finger to have one big statement. Or they could have told him he could have just the thumb and pinky and be doing the hang loose symbol all the time. Oh man. Doug does not approve.
Right.
He's sitting there judging.
Nope.
Doug's like, when their hand gets cut off, they shouldn't be able to feel again.
It's against nature.
Yeah.
Part cyborg.
Hey, you know what I think is against nature? The T-1000. Just saying.
Did you ever see that deleted scene from T3 where they had Sam Jackson doing a voice for Arnold, and he was playing what was it, General Candy or something, the soldier that the Terminator was originally designed after. They're like, I don't know about his voice, and then a guy just looks up, we could fix it. Oh man.
What country are you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What? In the book.
English. Yeah. Do you speak it?
I like when he was wearing that T-shirt. I am not Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, you saw what happened with that, right?
Well, yeah. And that guy, he's like, "Oh, I love you in that one thing." He's like, "I'm not Lawrence Fishburne, man. They're more than one black guy." You know? Oh man.
Yeah. We can rebuild him. We can make him stronger.
I think better prosthetics are a cool thing. So.
Yeah. I think that I saw an article too about someone 3D printed out a prosthetic hand too or something.
Well, that was a thing.
Interesting.
That was a thing in that movie actually, where they talked about Robo Hand, where people can make prosthetics for like $5. It's a lot, versus thousands of dollars. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, what do you know? Like, what can prosthetics do now? Mainly like grip and stuff. I mean, they're not very dexterous with the fingers, are they?
Well, not with like hands and fingers and stuff, but like they've made those blades where people can run faster with them than they can with normal human legs. So,
yeah,
it's like I don't know how good they are, but it's still better than not having one, I think. And I think it's especially for like the thing they were showing in the Robo Hand video during the movie was like kids with them. It's like it's a good thing for like people without a hand to actually be able to grab things again. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, aesthetically, it looks nice so that you're not like, one side you have a hand, the other side you don't. I guess that's sort of helps you to fit in. I guess a little bit,
Well, I don't know. I mean, it all depends on like the person's preference of those kind of things. Like like women that get the breast cancer, then they get they rather than get reconstructive surgery or something, like they can't, or for some different reasons they get like a tattoo of it so they can display a piece of art rather than it's like whatever the person feels comfortable with. Like I don't think we should have to say like, oh, I want to look like just everybody else, but at the same time it's like some people spend thousands of dollars not to look like somebody, not to look like everybody else. Like the Lizard Man or the Enigma guy. So
yeah, they do. People do that too, where they like tattoo their whole body to look like a leopard or a tiger or something, or like a reptile.
Well, like Catman, who's trying to turn himself into a cat. So
yeah.
Wait. Whoa, hold. Scatman?
No,
No,
Catman.
Yeah,
It's like Catwoman.
Anyway.
But yeah, wasn't there with the running and stuff like faster or whatever? Wasn't there like a whole controversy like last year or the year before that about like the Olympics and the Special Olympics and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just, when the guy can literally run faster than a human being because of his prosthetic, it's like, well, like at that point it becomes like steroid use. Like, do you allow augmented humans and I don't know. That becomes a questionable issue. Like, well, does he stay in a Special Olympics where they have to factor in things, or does he? Since he's faster than people in the regular Olympics, it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, moving along to the next news story.
These two next articles are going to be about burgers.
And Bob's Burgers?
No.
Aww.
I don't know any Bob's Burgers, man.
You've never seen the show Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
It's a good show. It's got H. John Benjamin as the voice of Bob. And then it's got Kristen Schaal as Tina, or not Tina, what's her character's name? I don't know. And then Tina's voiced by a dude. Anyway, moving along.
Yeah.
Blood in the Burger. What's this about,
This one
Ian?
is about lab engineering burgers, like veggie burgers, to make them more realistic and to actually, like, when you cook them, to actually have blood coming out of them. Like fake veggie blood.
Oh,
juice,
like in Count Duckula when they're supposed to pour blood in and instead they poured in ketchup. The history incarnation did not go according to plan. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, veggie burgers are already kind of more awesome than regular burgers in that you can have them with like cheese inside it. It's like,
yeah.
Those
I hate those. The burgers and the hot dogs with cheese. It's just gross, man, for me.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen people like cut up like stick spaghetti sticks inside of the hot dog, and then they cook it, and then like they chop up I think they chop up the hot dog or something, but like it just strings through the spaghetti, and like it looks weird, but I'm sure kids love it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest hang up with this, I guess, that they're trying to work on is that, oh my God, heaven forbid, it with the taste, it tastes like turkey burger. That's what people are hung up on.
Well, like, being the resident vegetarian on this show, I will tell you right now, when I turned vegetarian in like 2000, whatever it was, they like go for a veggie hot dog, and basically every other one you would get would be like rubber. It would not only not have any taste, it would be crap. And now guaranteed every package of veggie hot dogs are going to be delicious. And you can make veggified fake anything. And I'm all in favor of screwing around and make I mean, if you want to make it as meat-like as possible, go ahead. I mean, I'm not sitting here, going, I must have the replacement for a burger. I don't care. I never really made burgers. If I do get one, I'll get a veggie patty or I'll just get it without. I really don't notice much difference, but just to be around people, I don't want to be the guy eating a salad while everyone's munching a burger. It's like it's a little awkward. So,
I don't know if you've explained to everybody on the show or not why you're sort of vegetarian. I guess if it's like political or if it's just
it's just a personal
religious or whatever.
Well, it's a personal preference. I don't know. I personally think it's like, well, if we're at the top of the food chain, it's like, shouldn't we be beyond having to eat, kill to eat? I mean, we have that choice. I mean, it's the human privilege kind of thing. But it's like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of killing animals to eat them because it's like, you look at we don't kill the cute animals, but we kill the tasty ones. And look at rabbits. Some people eat those. Some people keep them as pets, and I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I remember a while ago you talked about the key turning point for you was when you saw like a bullfight or whatever, and it was like really graphic.
Well, the thing is, I already knew all the stuff going in on bullfights, and it was in Spanish class in high school, and they showed us a video, and it's like I'd seen it. I mean, I knew the stuff, but when you actually see it, like they're testing out which bulls, act up the best in a match, and which ones are loudest and stuff, and like, the instructor was like, oh yeah, it's just a cultural heritage kind of thing, that's why, and she's like, oh, it's a thing we watch, and I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not down. I mean, I understand if it's, what you're into, I guess, but, people in ancient Greece, used to battle bears and, kill them, and it's like, I don't know, I'm a little beyond it, I think. I'm just not into it. I'm not into seeing any living creature suffer, so, and the idea of it is just, yeah,
Yeah, but on the flip side, though, you said that groups like PETA are like crazy, though.
Well, they are because they're the ones that want to.
Hold on for
like,
a sec.
Oh, okay.
Look, actually, keep talking.
Okay, hold on, and now I gotta keep talking. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Anyway, yeah, groups like PETA take a little too far when they want to like give animals like human level rights and stuff. It's like no, just don't kill them. That's it's like you don't need to slaughter humans and try and compare freeing animals to fighting slavery. It's like it's not the same thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm a vegetarian. I don't care if anybody else is. I mean, I try to be a good example. That's all. If you agree with me and or you have similar things, that's great. But if you want to eat meat, go right on ahead. I don't care because I don't want to be that annoying vegetarian. Just like I don't want that annoying meat eater who's like, oh, don't you miss a steak or the pork chops? And it's like, no. I never liked those anyway. Those were always tough. I always ate lean meat when I did. I always loved turkey, and I don't need to worry about that. So.
See, that reminds me of Dennis Leary. He has an entire bit about, how certain people will say, don't eat the tuna fish. What? Don't eat the tuna fish. Why? Dolphins are getting stuck in the nets. Well, what about the tuna fish? Screw them, they taste good.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I like Dennis Leary, but pretty much, like, his whole thing is, like, rolling on the thing, like, we're stuck up with the PC thing, and I want to burn things, I want to eat with styrofoam, and then, okay, that's nice.
The sad thing is I can repeat that almost verbatim.
Well, the Nostalgia Critic did a thing where he's like, can we just, like, roll every Dennis Leary rant in every movie he's in now and just get it out of the way? Okay, so, like, this one, now, Demolition Man, and... Yeah,
see, I like his stand-up. That's what I think is best.
I like his stand-up, but, it's like... I mean, he's a talented actor. He was on that show, Rescue Me. He's been on a number of other films. He's a good actor. It just, that bit was from, like, 94. And,
well, he also did one in 99 called Lock and Load. Is great too. He doesn't do stand up that much anymore because he does the acting gigs.
Well, he did the No Cure, was it No Cure for Cancer or something like that?
No Cure for Cancer was the first one, and then Lock and Load.
He did that one when his kids were really young, and then the second one was like the 10 years later or whatever. And it's like, okay, my kids were, his daughter was scratching stuff in the car, drawing a picture. And he's like, Daddy's just gonna lay down and, yeah, she looks like Cindy Lou Who. It's like, I don't want to say anything and traumatize her, but by the same token, my car.
Let's go ahead and ruin everything.
Today, I feel like the luckiest man in the world. Anyway. How you doing there, Ian?
Ian. Blood.
Are you there, Ian? Oh, man. I'm not exactly sure what Ian's doing now. Other than shenanigans.
I think the pizza came.
Oh, well, maybe he shouldn't have touched it inappropriately. I had pizza the other night, and it burned the inside of my mouth. Yeah. But, it was one of those things where I didn't notice it till after, because I'm eating pizza. Oh. Then afterwards, it's like, oh, my mouth is melted. Hey, why did the hipster burn his mouth?
Why?
Because he ate the pizza before it was cool.
Oh.
Hello, kitty. The kitty cat wants to join the show.
It's my Batman.
No, kitty, it's my podcast. You have your own show. Yeah, and I got more listeners, too. Oh, man. Ian? Are you there, Ian? What the...
Testing.
Testies,
Hey, guys,
testies. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Hey, I wanted to try to have my friend Nate on. Is that okay?
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, you can sit on the couch, man.
All right.
He's sitting on the floor.
Sorry, I added the live part to the show.
Yes, because we're all recordings.
Hello. Thank you for your cooperation. By the way,
Would you like to donate to the United? Now, this is just a robocall by Al Gore. This is the most important election of this year, of our lifetimes, today. Please remember to go out and vote.
chicken tender.
Oh, that's like that John Kasich, like, I like this wedding dress.
I don't know how
Have you seen
some. No, I haven't watched. I don't watch too much real-time TV anymore. But I somehow got on his mailing list, and I'm like, I'm kind of registered for the other party, man. How did I don't know.
Convert now! Convert now!
So I see there will be blood in your veggie burger? That sounds delicious.
Well, it'll be like the, faux blood, obviously, but I don't know. This it makes me think about that article about they were growing meat in a lab, and what are you gonna do when you don't have to kill animals to get meat? It's like, well, when it costs less than $1 billion for one burger to be grown, we'll have that real discussion. But until then,
Yeah.
So is this burger for vampires?
Well, no. The premise is these scientists were trying to make burgers more appealing for vegetarians, where it's closer to like meat. So it actually, when you cook it, the thing actually bleeds or oozes out like fake blood sauce, veggie sauce or whatever.
That's different.
Yeah.
You just don't want to embalm somebody with Worcestershire sauce. Bad idea.
or most delicious idea ever.
I was gonna say, that sounds delicious.
Alright, what's the next burger story, Ian?
What?
You said you had 2 burger articles for us.
It better be the Batman burger.
No, or how about
Justice.
that black burger in Japan, is it?
The most metal burger ever.
Well, how's it compared to that black burger they had in France a while back?
It's the most metal burger ever.
It bleeds black blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah. But this one is about a chef creates a glam burger for $1,770, and I guess people are calling it the world's most expensive burger.
Now, I'm pretty sure I heard there's like $1 million burger or something at some point, isn't there?
Yeah, well, that's sort of what I thought, but I mean the burger is still interesting. It says a London restaurant has created the world's most expensive burger, which contains bits of gold leaf and caviar, according to a company that tracks record setting. Honky Tonk, an American diner-style restaurant, unveiled the 1,100 euro, $1,770 glam burger, which was verified by record setter as a world record. Chef Chris Large made the burger with Kobe Wagyu beef and New Zealand venison to create a 280-gram patty seasoned with smoked Himalayan salt in the middle of the black truffle brie, which melts when cooked.
For a second, I thought that said bra, and I'm like, there's a black truffle bra?
Yeah.
For 1,700, better.
Yeah.
It says
Man,
lobster
this-
poached in the Iranian saffron and maple syrup coated streaky bacon also feature in the bun alongside beluga caviar and hickory smoked duck egg covered in gold leaf. The bun is also coated in gold leaf and seasoned with Japanese matcha and cream mayonnaise.
And the toothpick's like narwhal horn.
It says as if the burger couldn't get any richer, large added mango and champagne gust and grated white truffle.
Jew. It's called Jew.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know the Serendipity 3 had like $1 million dessert with like gold in it, so I don't know. It's the thing is, like, once you put all this fancy stuff, and unless you're already eating like, you know, a millionaire's diet anyway, like, are any of us gonna recognize any difference in taste between this and, you know, some fancy place? Not a Whopper, of course. I'm sure it would probably taste more refined than that, but
Man, just give me a big Kahuna burger.
nah, you just need to go to In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
I'd be the waiter that would like drop it, like, sorry guys. It's like, my bad, it's still good, 5-second rule.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest. When I turned vegetarian and I started ordering my burgers without meat, like literally after the second time, I didn't even notice it. So, yeah, this kind of expense. When there are people dying of Ebola, this $1,700 burger seems a little, I don't know.
Well, that's what I think sometimes it's like you have these things that are like could go up to $1 million for food and stuff, and it's like, I don't know, this is so much money to have to go into something that just gets devoured in minutes, you know?
It turns to poop.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I understand the idea that, like, you can do whatever you want, you know, with your own money and everything, but at some point, you know, like what if you've ever watched Cribs, you know, after a while it's like, there's no reason for that much Cristal. There's, you know, there's...
Yeah.
Hey, there's always room for Cristal.
Well,
You never know.
Sometimes that's all they have in the refrigerator.
You never know when the party about to pop off, you know what I'm saying? So, man, you gotta have that Cristal sitting on lock. That way, when the people show up and, you know, they start busting out the $100 bills because they're bringing them girls, man, you're like, hi, got that Kobe beef Wagyu. What's up, man?
no, see, on my crib, we'd have, like, a special fridge just full of Crystal Pepsi. And we know in Doug's fridge it would be Surge, just bottles and bottles of Surge.
Yeah, has anybody even bought that yet? That Surge on Amazon?
How much
It
is
just
Surge?
went back on sale today.
Oh, did it go back on sale now? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're bringing back Surge, man.
I don't feel so.
Yeah.
I don't feel so bad about that because when I found Baja Blast at Walmart again, I did stock up on it. So.
Yeah, I did too, but they don't have that anymore. I think the promotion is done.
Yeah, well, it does say on the can, limited time only, till you want it again and you're willing to pay more, just like the McRib. So.
Hey, okay, speaking of food and stuff that pisses me off,
Okay.
like Taco Bell had those damn $5 boxes. They are no longer $5. It's like
Oh.
Do they still call it the
$6.30
$5
something
box?
for a box now. It's like $6, 30 something cents. You're just like, huh? What in the hell? Like, come on, man. Come up off the damn quesadillas, okay?
I can't be paying almost $7 for my
Oh, well,
big box
hold
at
on,
Taco
hold on.
Bell.
Hold on, look, keep that screen right there, Ian.
Yes.
See, now that right there, that's not Coca-Cola. That is a reseller trying to get some cash. Because like a 12-pack is only like $14. And sure, it's expensive for what it is, but you know what? It's being created in limited batches. That is most likely somebody reselling.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
that's
I'm-
like me.
Because I'm subscribed to the Surge movement on Facebook.
Of course you are, Doug.
Well, Doug, give us a link then for a real
Look
real
up.
deal. Then if it's back
Yeah,
on
give me a
today.
sec here. Let me jump over to my Facebook and I'll look it up and then I'll post the link because it goes up in like metered like every once in a while, not all the time. They sell out and they stock up, pop it back on sale.
Makes sense. I mean,
Even Sprite Remix is like $50 a can.
well, Sprite Remix though.
No one
I
likes
wasn't-
it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Coke Black is still pretty popular to buy online. And Ian and I have seen
Delicious.
episodes of Brad Tries where he pulls out like the 20-year-old bottle of Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd like to find some new Coke, but it's very hard to find online. I heard there's a Coke challenge where you're supposed to try and find a bottle of like over 50-year-old Coke and try and chug it. Because, there's not enough joy to be had in life unless you're drinking something that could make you very violently ill.
Yeah, just violently vomiting everywhere.
It'd be easy to find though, because like every, flea market has the old bottles of Coke with the Coke in it, just sitting there. Well, of course, who's going to buy an empty bottle of Coke? Well,
Actually, Google image search that LA Beast guy vomiting that.
There you go, man.
oh, man.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Brad on Brad Tries said that he saw that video and he thinks that the dude might have taken an Epicac for it because he's like, I've done older stuff than that and been fine. He's like, of course, I have a cast iron stomach, and so.
Okay, well,
See now, the real surge on Amazon is $14 for 12 count 16 fluid ounce cans.
By Surge in all caps. So it's Surge!
You
So
know what?
How many cans have you ordered, Doug?
Unfortunately, none. I would love to get my hands on some Surge. Oh, man.
How about some Ecto Cooler? People have been passing out the recipe for that online for a while.
See, that's just not... That's not it. No. Just no.
Slimer was on a lot of products when we were kids. He was on Ecto Cooler, he was on the Slimer toothpaste, and he also had the Hostess fruit pie. You remember the Slimer fruit pie where it's green, filled with green slime? And I ate a whole one of those one time when I wasn't very hungry, but I was like, it's Slimer, I gotta eat it, and I ate the whole thing. I was like, oh, I think I kind of regret that.
I think I remember like drinking High C
Oh,
and it had
dude.
Slimer on it, but it wasn't Ecto Cooler.
Hey, come on, Ian, really?
Ian, please. There's reasons why those things have warnings on the links. Please don't do that on the show.
Hold up. Let me take a look at this. I'm actually watch this.
I
don't know.
What's
What's
you
that
yell
one?
at me and then you go and watch it.
Well, he's not watching on camera. He's doing more of like, two girls, one cupping this. So I don't know, Ian. You saw that video about that guy talking about that one like German or like Swedish delicacy that's like rotten fish or whatever, and he's like, airlines won't ship it because the smell will make people vomit if the can opens and spills anywhere, people will instantly start vomiting. So yeah.
Yeah, he's laughing at. See.
Yeah, I don't want to be
No,
showing.
first it was just the name of it. Enjoying a 20-year-old Crystal Pepsi. Warning, vomit alert.
Vomit alert.
Well, I remember there was a video going around the internet of a kid drinking like a 25-plus-year-old beer where it had like the pull top. Oh, man. Moving along to more pleasant things. Ian, what's our next news story?
Well, you hope it's more pleasant, right?
If there's a vomit warning on it, I'll just cut you short and start singing.
By the way, we never got Doug's opinion. It was funny when we were talking about the veggie burger, or you were talking about why you became a vegetarian. He like wasn't even paying attention. He's like, screw this, man. We need meat.
See, that's the thing, because I err on the side of Dennis Leary in this matter.
Mm-hmm. So you're just like smoking and you want to be meat turkey out of me, man? Is that what you're saying?
You will eat the meat. Oh yeah, you will eat the meat, because meat tastes like murder. Murder tastes pretty damn good, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
See, I like Dennis Leary, except I'm kind of worried that like at times he kind of turns into Ted Nugent a little bit. And I mean, I kind of like Ted Nugent a little bit too, but then other times he's crazy.
He turns into Captain Planet.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself a 1967 Eldorado convertible, hot pink with whale skin hubcaps, all leather cow interior, and brown baby sea lights for headlights. Yeah! I'm going to drive around that baby, getting 1 mile per gallon, sucking down quarter-pounder cheeseburgers from McDonald's in the old-fashioned non-biodegradable styrofoam containers. There ain't a damn thing nobody can do about it. You want to know why? We got the bombs, that's why. 2 words, nuclear freaking weapons, okay?
You know, that reminds me that there was a truck they were online that they were selling made with the inside was a whale penis leather interior. It was like a couple $1 million truck, and I think they took it off the sale, but still, it's like whale penis leather for when you want to sit.
So I just want to say that I'm watching this Crystal Pepsi vid, and this dude just looks so disappointed that he's about to drink this.
Yeah.
You just got this look of, man, like, damn, I know exactly what's going to happen. Oh, dude.
Well, the videos we've seen, the first one he drank was like, it had yellowed, but he sipped it and he's like, oh, that tastes just right. And he drank, he's like, it was the sugar or something. And the other one wasn't yellow, and he drank all that too. He's like, it turned yellow because it was like diet or something, and they didn't have certain preservatives or sugars or something. But still...
He's cracking it open.
Of course, he also tasted Billy beer, but they didn't drink it because there was rust in the can.
Yeah.
But that's when it tastes good.
Man, he's chugging. He's chugging.
I love that LA Beast, man. You should watch his recent episode where he gets like a bucket of like hot ice liquid, and where it solidifies into ice that pretty much burns, and he dips his whole hand into it, and he's like screaming.
Yeah, well,
icy hot.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen guys put icy hot on their nuts before, so it's like that's not. Yeah.
Why?
Why would you put it almost anywhere else other than for the intended purpose? Because somebody paid him to, obviously.
Oh, I see.
Like Johnny Knoxville.
30 seconds later.
Like Johnny Knoxville, where he had all those paper cuts in his hand and then stuck his hand in, what was it? Something that was acidic, I can't remember.
What about you, though, Nate? What's your argument for eating meat? I mean, you're a religious guy, so I mean...
Let's see. It tastes good. It tastes good. I feel bad, but like...
Well, my thing is,
and I don't see it killed or anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's sort of like my reasoning is, like, if I were to see that bullfight, I probably would still eat meat after that, because it's like, I mean, sure, it's pretty grotesque, like the part of killing and like in the butcher shop, but once it gets to you, it's so like sliced and diced and prepared for you. It's
that's the disassociation of it. That's a different thing. Yeah. But the bullfight wasn't about he didn't just walk up and just stab it in the heart and that's the end of it. It's a show. So it's he's sticking like speared flags into it and getting it to react and bleed and wander around for a good while. So it wasn't just straight up killing that. So. I don't know.
I was like, I gotta have my meat, man.
Like I said, man, you guys do what you want. For me, it's like I'd much rather not. But then again, I mean, I'm of my own mind. It's my preference, and I'm glad I have my own because somebody on Facebook shared a picture a video of taking pigs and throwing them in the grinder. And you know how Facebook is when you scroll down on your Facebook wall and all of a sudden the video starts auto-playing. And I just wanted to look over at that guy and go, do we need to talk? Yeah. Hey, Doug, what do you think that they're making a Manimal movie with, is it Will Ferrell? I think Will Ferrell's going to be the next Manimal, right?
What's going on?
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if you can see this with the limited light that I have, because one of my lights went out. But this is a Muscle Meds product. It's called Carnivore. Bioengineered beef protein isolate. See, I have to drink this because I'm lactose intolerant, and most whey protein isolate is horrible. This is 350% more concentrated than steak.
Like, I've been a little leery of that, like, the protein powder stuff, because, like, my sisters would always talk about, like, the really nasty farts, and they'd just be, like, constant.
Well, that's like whey protein. That's your body breaking down the lactose, generally. But almost any protein you're gonna have that, whether it be even like soy protein. I did soy protein for a bit, but soy protein causes the male body to produce estrogen.
Fun.
But Ben, I respect you though, Ben. I mean, because it's a personal decision. I mean, like you said, it's not like you're just trying to go along with a certain niche or a certain crowd. You're not trying to be like Peter or whatever.
Well, I mean, it's the
political with it.
Well, I mean, some people are the same, a certain way with the opposite, where they're, like, all on the all-meat diets and stuff. Like, my roommate in college was on the Atkins diet for a while, and that was nice because, like, neither of us would ever touch each other's groceries. But I felt kind of bad for him because, man, once you stop eating meat, smelling some of it cooking, some of it is not pleasant. It's sausages, right. No.
Oh, but I love the smell of sausage.
Sausages.
Also, I think it's a thing on the Atkins diet, like,
sausages.
Well, you can get the runs real quick on it. At least some people do, and other people get hemorrhoids. So, yeah, it's.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say, I mean, again, you do have cheese and stuff, but it's like vegetarians. At least they probably don't have any kind of constipation problems or anything.
Well, it's nice that like most of the things I eat, like if it got like frozen out here and I couldn't cook stuff, a lot of my products I could just eat raw. It's like I could like pull it out at frozen steak and eat like a popsicle. No. Oh man. That's like that Dean Martin joke. I don't drink that much. If I drank that much, I'd been dead 10 years ago. I freeze it and eat it like a popsicle. Such a bad joke. He's like, it's like they say, you're not really drunk if you can lay on the floor without holding on. Oh, man. So anyway, what's our next news story, Ian?
Okay, this one is about a SWAT app wants to help you keep a close eye on cops. It says, after visiting Ferguson, Missouri recently, a pair of Georgetown students realized the need to access cell phone videos of police misconduct in the event a device is destroyed. Or with that in mind, Brandon Anderson and Joseph Renbaum set out to develop the SWAT app software that sends your footage to the cloud in the event your phone itself is confiscated or smashed. And it goes on to say that it can, besides that, it can look in it. There was three main things I remember. It was, it lets you file like police complaints and stuff without having to go to like a police department, and also it uses GPS and stuff to let you know about like your local jurisdictions and rights and stuff, So.
Bad boys,
it's pretty interesting to have that,
What you gonna do? Swoop, I'll come for you.
Well, I mean, more people having these kind of situations have cell phones, and as they're being taken by, cops, I think it's a good thing to be able to report, overreaching of power.
Yeah. Well, it's just like we talked about that one article that I did like a while ago about the police having being made to wear glasses that have a video camera on them. I mean, but if both sides have a camera, then that's just great.
Yeah.
You do it with the cell phone or with glasses, or if you have a dash cam.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I got yelled at by the police yesterday. I
Oh,
walked off the sidewalk. He's like, "Walk on the sidewalk." I'm like,
Oh.
"What did I do?"
Jaywalking. These guys, you're supposed to stay on the sidewalk, otherwise you can get hit. And then it's the person's fault because pedestrians are supposed to have the right of way, but they don't want to get in that
No,
situation.
but like it was in front of a theater, and like there was like 10 feet of sidewalk, and it was like in like a no. It was like there was yellow lines, and like it was on the. I don't know.
I saw a dash cam
remember.
video not too long ago about, like a week or two ago, about this guy got pulled over, and the cop said, "Can you see his license?" And the guy goes to his truck to get his license, and the cop wigs out and goes, "Get out of the car! Get out of the car!" And the guy pulls out, and the cop shoots him, and he holds his hands up in the air and falls to the ground. The cop's still firing, and
Yeah.
it's like, and like I watched it on a review show with the two hosts that were both African American, and they were like, "Look, this is a horrible thing." But I was like, I don't really think that the cop was being racist so much as like he was just too jumpy. Like if it'd been a white guy that done it and he wigged out too, it'd been like that guy should not be a cop. It's like if it's like when the guy does turn around and holds his hands up and you're still firing, it's like that's a problem. So
Right. Well, I remember seeing an article about a similar thing, like with Nate's incident, where there was like a lady that was at like on campus or whatever, like college, university, and she started jaywalking, and the cop demanded like her to see her license and like a couple other things I forget, but she was getting. I guess it was like a security policeman for the university, I guess, and I guess they do have jurisdiction to do that. So, but she didn't think that she should have to do that for him,
I don't know, man. It all depends on details about whether they should or shouldn't. I mean, if you're on, a campus's property and they have security, then you do kind of have to follow what they want to do. most of the time. So.
Right. Well, I always find it interesting, like if you have, because I mean there is like security for it, and then there's, like people that are supposed to be security that don't necessarily have can go out to other places and arrest people, and then sometimes they do have like real policemen that work there, which I find interesting because it's like I wonder if I could. If I could ever like hire a policeman to be my own personal bodyguard, because I mean they do it for the money, to go to other places instead of just patrolling the streets. They go to like universities or do security for certain organizations,
Dude, Ian, you could be like Robin Big.
Who's Robin Big? I forget.
You're fired.
Ba-da-bum.
Well, at least tell me who Robin Big is.
Rob Deerdick,
Now
the
that I'm fired.
skateboarder, and Big Black.
Oh, I thought you said Robin Big, like Bird Robin. I know Rob Deerdick and the other fat black guy. Yeah.
The other fat black guy.
They call him
Alright.
Big
Yeah,
Black.
his name it's just Big. They just call him Big. I forget what his real name is.
Is he notorious or just? Oh man.
Escargot.
What about him?
Moving along, guys.
No, I was curious. What were you saying about him, Doug?
I said you could be like Robin Big. You can
They
go
have, like,
around, do
security.
whatever you want, and then have your personal bodyguard be like, "This is a completely legal process. We need you to step back."
Yeah. They get up at you with them. They could arrest them.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Or you could just be like in They Live and walk around with a shotgun. And just walk around, I came to chew bubble gum.
Yeah.
I was wanting to see if anybody
What
else
do you-
finished.
And kick ass, and I am all out of bubblegum.
What about you, Nate? What do you think about that, though? I mean, like you said, cop was bothering you. Do you think it's important to have video cops, right?
They're doing something horrible, yeah. But, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I guess the cop just scared me because I guess I just walk crooked.
Well, the cop might have also been doing, worried about your own safety. Like, hey, get off the
Oh,
street.
yeah, he probably was just doing his job, just he scared the crap out of me.
So, yeah. Alright. So, does that wrap up the news this week? Or...
Oh, we got one more article. It's just about, just talking about Ebola. Since you mentioned it, I guess it'd be nice to have a discussion about it. What do you think about it now that we have, like, the first outbreak, patient 0 or whatever?
Oh, wait, what are you talking about first? They picked somebody up in Maine. And I heard Chicago, too.
Well, the thing is, I find it interesting that, like, it's killed thousands of people for a while now, but when we first start waking out, oh no, we might accidentally catch it possibly sometime maybe. Like when we were going to catch SARS, and then chicken flu, and swine flu, and, I don't know. I do think it's kind of a thing that, like, we should... It's a thing that should really be addressed and people should be concerned about, but not in like the pandemic fear that people have. Like, oh, what if I get on a plane? What if I'm flying from this city to that city? And it's like, yeah, it's happening in like reported cases in Maine and Texas. If you're up here, you're probably not going to get. So
Well, they said that.
But don't they have, like, a weaponized form of Ebola?
Yeah, well, that's a rumor that's been going around. It was going around with pretty much every outbreak. Is there a weaponized version of it?
Just
I mean,
a
is there-
rumor.
Well, I mean, Ebola basically liquefies your insides? It's like, is there a
Yeah.
weaponized version of that virus? Probably not. It would be a little hard to drop. I don't know. It's not very efficient. It's the least efficient biovirus of all time, if it were.
Well, wasn't there like a lady that was like in a full hazmat suit or whatever, and she even contracted it down there, I guess.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how she got it. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
if you're in contact with somebody, them's the risk you take. Trying to help the situation.
Right. And I'm sure I don't want this to spark into a huge debate here, but I don't know if hopefully Nate might back me up, but I mean it could get into like a huge pandemics or whatever, and we've argued about this before, but I still hold true that I'm the person that would hate to see a scenario where everybody would be forced to be vaccinated,
Well, the thing is, it's not going to be everybody forced to be vaccinated. Everybody's going to be terrified, and they're going to get it just like the. I mean, I've only had I haven't really had a flu shot in a long time, except when my dad wigged out when the SARS and I think it was the swine flu. He's like, oh, they're giving the vaccinations over at the county, the county fairgrounds. We got to go. I'm like,
The county fairgrounds? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Were they
and
pigs? What?
Well, it was one of those situations where he was wigging out and he's like, let's go. I'm like, there's like there were like at that time no cases of swine flu. It's just a thing that he was wigging out about, and like I went to it and they were like, well, you're at the age where you can just get like the nasal spray if you want. And I'm like, well, I didn't even really want to be here, but all right, whatever. And my dad was like, whew, okay, we're good. I'm like, you realize, the average flu shot 9 times out of 10 isn't really going to make you not get flu. Therefore, the swine flu shot, it's probably not going to help you that much either. It's just, it's just like the whole people collecting water bottles before Y2K, which my mom also did that.
I think everybody did. They've got this food store in their basement, and they're like, darn it.
Well,
Why didn't I buy Skittles? I would have eaten Skittles.
Well, like the song said, party like it's 1999. It's like, okay, 1999. So when my mom was filling water jugs in the bathtub, and people are like, oh, I bet she was pouring those out after midnight, huh? And like, no, she kept them around for a week, just in case. And I'm sitting here going, just in case what? the apocalypse waits and goes, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. My bad. I thought I was on like Roman
time. We set
time.
our computer time wrong.
Dude,
our bad.
Dude, man, Apocalypse is here, man. Apocalypse was drunk last week, man. Like, he was supposed to show up, but dude, man, he went to this party last night, and he got hold of some, I'm talking some sticky icky, and then he was just kind of chilling out for about a week, you know what I'm saying? But
Ian, when we were in Pittsburgh, their library had a copy of How to Survive Y2K, and I really wanted to read it, but I didn't have time. On Hulu they have a documentary about that guy who was saying the world was going to end in like May 2013 or whatever year it was, and I need to watch that one because, how do you watch like people gave up their life savings. Kids had to like take care of their parents after they spent all their money messaging, putting the message out, the world's gonna end, and then it didn't, and now they're like, well, my parents know they can't trust themselves anymore. That's the saddest truth they're like, I have no college fund now because it's like I'm like, I want to, because like after it happened, before there was all kinds of hype about it, and then like afterwards there were 1 or 2 articles in the news, and now I've seen this documentary's here, and it's like, I need to watch this, because how do you live with that? It's happened so many times where they've stood up and they said, the world's going to end on this date, and then it didn't, and go, hold it, I did my math wrong, it's going to end in 2 weeks. Still doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, that particular guy, I was actually really interested in that story, just for pure entertainment purposes, and I was reading about it, and afterwards he's like, well, it doesn't happen now. It's like you have 6 months to repent, and then it's going to be all like,
Well, then again, there was that guy in the 80s who he was a televangelist, and he told his flock, I need $1 million or the Lord's going to call me home. And he got his $1 million. And I'm sitting there going, can I do that? That's a pretty cushy gig there.
Yeah, me and Nate tonight, I should show him both of those movies, This Is the End and Rapture Palooza.
I like Rapture Palooza, but it's like, it's fair to middling. Like there's some really good parts in it, but they kind of let the actors improvise, and some tighter
cuts.
It'll
be better than that movie we saw last week.
Oh, what that Gore Police movie?
No, Machine Girl 2.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Machine Girl.
The thing is,
Are you sure you weren't watching Twilight?
Oh yeah.
Dad, I'm not gonna let the Antichrist steal my girlfriend. Jeez. I don't know. I mean, any movie with Rob Corddry in it automatically gets like a few points bonus, because he's trying hard, even in a horrible movie, So, yeah. But I mean, I'm not saying Rapture Palooza was horrible. I'm just saying, like, it adds to whatever that movie would have gotten. So,
yeah.
And both those movies have what's that guy's name? Who's Craig Robertson? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Craig Robertson in Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to Hot Tub Time Machine 2?
I mean, I'll watch it when it comes out, I guess.
It comes out on Christmas.
Looking forward to it.
Well,
that's cool.
I'm looking forward to it enough. Like, I'm not going to hold my hopes up, because sequels, you never want to do that. But the trailers make it look like they're going to go a less than expected way, because sending them into the future, I think, was less expected, because everyone's like, oh, send them back into the past again. Let them play around with time. I'm cool with that. Although I'm not sure how I feel about the guy they got to replace John Cusack, because they didn't even explain in the trailer where he came from. He's just there. So, I don't know.
John Cusack was like, man, the first one was bad enough. I'm out. No.
No, he said on Twitter, they asked him how come he wasn't in, and he said, they didn't ask me. So, the Great White Buffalo. I think they worked well on that one. The thing was, like, you know, it's all a big funny comedy, and I think he kind of does, like, he tried to pull in the drama element, and that movie's very hard to have, like, a lot of emotional stuff in it. It's, I don't know. I liked everybody in it, though. It's a good movie. Love that movie. Great White Buffalo.
Yes. I mean, I guess that sort of wraps the news up. I mean, it is sort of crazy with all the stuff. Like I said, if I would be scared if I wouldn't be scared, but I'd be pretty angry. I would probably end up in jail or something, just trying to punch or almost probably kill the guy if I ever saw like a cop trying to force like a woman on the ground trying to put a needle in her or something, you know, some kind of vaccination, you know.
And then you catch the zombie outbreak, and you're a walker, and I've got to put you down, because yeah, they're not going to force it. It's what's going to be is people are going to be terrified, and then maybe like 5 to 12 people in the country are going to get it, and then we're going to forget about it because there'll be another outbreak we've got to worry about. Because that's what happens in this news cycle.
Thing is, there's nothing worse than the outbreak that's currently in effect right now. Absolutely nothing worse. You know what that is?
What?
I can guarantee you know at least one person with the stupid.
Damn
You
it,
guys talking
Bobby.
about Snapchat?
The stupid is real, and they're all going to watch the new Hunger Games movie this fall.
Now, did Philip Seymour Hoffman fill all his bits for that before he passed, or
No.
no? So are they gonna write around him or recast that part or what? Like,
I think they wrote around him.
see, I've never seen any of them, but I don't know.
If I'd go to see the next Hunger Games movie if I got to be with Kate Upton. I'd watch everything she was on then, you know. She's pretty hot.
Wait, Kate Upton isn't in those movies.
Yeah, I thought Kate Upton
So
was the
so he'd
girl
watch
that
it if
was
Kate
the
Upton was
Hunger
in it.
Games. Well, no, isn't Kate Upton the girl that plays the girl in there? What's the actress's name? I mean, isn't she the one that was in that nude celebrity leak or whatever, and she had sex like with the director of it or whatever? With the
Nope.
Well, who's the girl that plays in the Hunger Games?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, but
She was also in the
wasn't
league.
she-
Otherwise known
Well,
by
wasn't
the
she-
internet community as the Fappening.
Yeah, but didn't she have sex with the director in there? Of the Hunger Games movie? Wasn't that like the whole thing with the whole scandal with her?
That I don't know. Jennifer Lawrence mad because booby shots are out of her. I'm like, chick, no.
Well, I mean, you know, you say that, Doug, until what are we gonna do when your nudes pop up? I mean, I think everybody has a right to get upset when inappropriate photos of them leak.
But the thing about it is this: when you spray paint your body almost completely blue and be naked for an X-Men movie, it's not that hard to imagine someone being, you know, completely nude, and you get to see all the goodies.
Yeah, because, you know, when they make a CG person nude in a film and spray paint him and all that stuff, that's totally the same as, you know, a photo of you taken naked for your boyfriend or whatever gets taken. Yeah, it's totally the same, Doug. Besides, you've seen how much they augment people. I mean, look at Angelina Jolie in Beowulf. You know, they just stuck her face on a computer-generated body for like 90% of that.
Okay, you do understand that Angelina Jolie is, like, insanely hot.
That is beyond the point, Doug. I mean, look at Nicolas Cage. He worked to get ripped for the Ghost Rider movie, but then they had to CG out some of his tattoos, and they just built him up in a CG six-pack anyway. I mean, he was already kind of ripped, but then it's like, well, why not just replace him all?
And I wish I could get like a CG six-pack that would like follow me around.
Well, I'm sure you could probably program one for Google Hangouts. They'll do that before giving us things like a soundboard, and after we can compose an opera and design a car. So
Portable six-pack augmented reality, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a six-pack of beer, or how about the Red Bull?
It's like, hey, you got a six-pack? No, baby, I got a full keg under this shirt.
No, did you hear about Red Bull, though?
Yeah!
Did
Are you
you
guys
hear
taking the
about that?
$15 or the $10?
I don't know, because like, I haven't drank a lot of Red Bull within the past couple of years, but I've drank my share. Did you hear about that, Ben?
About the lawsuit about it doesn't give you wings?
Yeah.
What,
That
they
is
actually get someone
Yeah, they
that
got
actually has a
sued
case
and
for
they
that?
lost.
Yes, they do.
Well, yeah, basically what happened is that they were sued because the implication of the art of the ads is that it's supposed to improve your performance and drink Red Bull and you'll be able to go an extra 4 to 5 hours while you're sitting there, shooting up heroin, because it's just legal speed. Let's not kid ourselves. Drinks like Red Bull are legal speed. That's all it is.
Last time I took Red Bull, I woke up like 2 hours later. I had no memory, and I had drumsticks in my hands. And then they said, "You could never do that again, Nate." And they never told me what I did. So I'll never drink that stuff.
Dude, it's
Blacked out.
just bad news, man. But yeah, they were sued because it was the implication that it was supposed to be the type of energy drink that had stuff like guanana, taurine, ginseng, was to boost your performance, turn you into a beastly man, and turned out it didn't. It was just speed.
Well,
But it's got the electrolytes plants Clarive, dude. No, wait, that's Brondo. It's got electrolytes and stuff.
Well, how did they prove that it didn't help give you more? If you have more energy, can't you do more? I mean, how did they?
Not necessarily. When you take a look at energy drinks like Monster and Rockstar, and it has a lot of caffeine, it has a lot of B12, but it also has stuff like the guanana, the taurine, ginseng root extract, and all this other stuff that helps to replenish what your body loses. Also, a lot of stuff that works to kind of temper your energy levels and all this other stuff.
Right.
Red Bull is like 10 parts caffeine, 1 part B12, and some janky flavoring. When you really stop to think about it.
Flavoring.
Yeah. Because really, can you tell me what Red Bull tastes like?
Regret.
Oh man, I had a can of regret the other day.
Yeah. No, seriously, can anybody seriously say, dude, Red Bull tastes like...
Sad times. Ian's bookie's calling him. Man,
Yeah.
you hear about that Red Bull thing? Shoot. I might get out of the bookmaking business.
Yo, man.
Oh, man.
But the general idea was that since they purported their product to be a performance-enhancing energy drink instead of just an energy drink, they lost and were fined an obscene amount of money.
Well, a lot of companies play that, our stuff is good for you, and it's like, no, just stop.
It's one of those...
I'm sure vitamin water is going to get in the same situation. Give it time.
When you take a look at a lot of products, it's the entire holier than thou. Like we have ingredient that helps to blah 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 blah. It wasn't just like Red Bull saying Red Bull gives you wings, and everyone's like, man, if I drink Red Bull, I'll be able to run this damn marathon later and not drop dead in the middle of it. Turns out that's not the case. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it took a while for this kind of thing to get to a lawsuit, as opposed to, like, you know, Four Loko and all the other alcoholic energy drinks.
Dude, when Four Loko was banned in Ohio, and they decided to reformulate it, like, number one, they're like, well, anything that's Four Loko currently in the state of Ohio will get sold. You know, it's not worth it trying to have somebody send it back, and then all of a sudden product is missing. So sell out of what you have, and then you'll get the new stuff somewhere down the line. And all over my Facebook, it's like, dude, I got some of that old school Four Loko, man. Everybody want to come over, get drunk, and then run a lap around the house? Come on. Who drinks an alcohol with an energy drink built into it? That's asking for bad decisions.
Well, I mean, that's a popular drink at a lot of places is vodka and Red Bull. You know, because you mix your uppers with your downers, and apparently it tastes good, and it messes you up because your body's like, "What's going on, man?" Don't know how I feel about that.
Well, like I've had Jaeger bombs, but I don't.
No, really, Doug, you've had those? I can't believe that Doug has had Jaeger. Can you believe that, Ian? He totally does not look like the kind of. I can't picture that at all.
Someone gave me one
You're
of those
kidding
one time.
us.
They taste awful.
Yeah, they probably do taste awful, though.
They taste like black licorice.
Dude, that's okay. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell everyone who's like, Jaeger's awful. Does it really matter after the third shot?
Well, that's the same with basically any alcoholic drink. You're not supposed to drink it for the taste. You're supposed to drink it so you don't remember the taste. That's... Yeah.
Dude, Jaeger is... like, I don't like black licorice, but I love Jaeger. It's just...
And I don't drink...
sweet wines.
Yeah, I like sweet.
Here's the thing, I just can't get over the taste of alcohol because the same reason I can't drink coffee. Because like I honestly want to like coffee, and then I take a sip. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be great. Oh, did I lick the bottom of my shoe? What happened? Take another sip. No, this is what's going on, guys. I want to like what's. Oh no. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, it's like you're a pretty square guy as far as that stuff goes. I mean, you don't eat like you really don't like sweets that much. You don't eat meat. You don't drink.
I'm a teetotaling vegetarian who doesn't drink or smoke. And you know what's fun is when I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with gout. And they're like, "Well, you want to like do you drink or anything?" And like, I'm a teetotaling vegetarian. Like I haven't had meat in like 15 years. I've never really drank. I've had maybe 2 glasses of champagne to celebrate at somebody's wedding. That's but.
Upon first sniff, what's the smell like, Doug?
Winning.
I'm sorry, I asked. Can I have those couple seconds back?
No, you already lost your seconds with that video on Doug's show the other day. So.
Yeah, I'm seconds closer to death after that.
Yeah.
Forward that to Nate. Just, hey, dude, watch
You
this.
saw it.
Oh man. So anyway, this week I wanted to talk about the movie Printing.
Oh yeah, before you go on, I just wanted to say, man, that was a weird call I just got. It was a local number, so I answered it. I thought it was maybe like somebody from my family or something, and no, it was some kind of paramedics and firefighters drive they're doing, and they wanted to send me something so I could give a donation to them.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, dude, I'm poor myself.
I've had those calls. I quit answering the house phone because it's always somebody wanting money. I don't, even if I don't recognize a number, like, that's why I have everybody that I talk to regularly on my phone their own unique ringtone. If it's the generic tone, even if it's in the area, it's like, no, they can leave me a message if they want to talk to me.
But
anyway,
go ahead. Go ahead. What were you wanting to talk about?
I wanted to share
movies, stuff we want to see.
Well, I wanted to first give my impressions on the movie Print the Legend, which is Netflix's original movie about the 3D printing revolution. Which, you know all about that, don't you, Doug?
We can try to think.
Nope.
Well, Ian, you're the 3D printing guy. Why don't you tell us what 3D printing is?
I know what 3D printing is.
3D printing is. But
3D printing is printing in the third dimension.
yes.
Like Homer Simpson in that one episode of the Treehouse of Horror? No.
Totally dig that episode.
Everyone does.
Well, there's different kinds of 3D printing. So I mean, depends on the type of printer and the type of process you do, but it's probably mostly about the home 3D printing with the. I haven't seen it yet. I do got to see it myself, but it's probably just generally about 3D printing in general, probably.
Well, it's about the push for the home 3D printing system and
the home
and the focus on it. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I like the film. It's well done. I mean, Netflix, their original films and shows are really good quality, and they do a good job of keeping, like, they go back and forth between, like, about 4 or 5 different subjects that they're filming, and they keep it balanced, you know, one guy then to the other, back and forth. So that goes along well. So it's a good film.
About the controversies.
Well, the thing is,
printed key and the guns and
stuff. Well. Let me get to that. The thing is, though, that the film is like I really like the film. I think anybody just tuning in who doesn't know anything about 3D printing will like it. But my issue with it is I know that you might have it's a good film and you'll like it, Ian. But I think you'll probably be a little disappointed because you would like to hear talk about the 3D technology and what they're doing with it. And there's actually very little about the 3D printing. The movie is about the players in the 3D printing game right now. So it's about, you know, MakerBot and basically Brie Pettis. It's about Fluid Labs. It's about 3D systems, and then there's another one I can't remember the name of. That's basically 2 bigger companies that do industrial 3D printing, and they're working their way to getting into the consumer market. And then 2 smaller startups, which MakerBot, starting in like 2009, I think is when they started in the film, and you know they're the first ones that are doing the home-based. And then there's Fluid Labs are doing a different thing than MakerBot, who are doing the extruded plastic. They're doing like a layer by layer, you know, laser kind of thing that's a little bit different. Yeah. It's more. There's one shot where they show different printouts of a chess rook with the different machines, so that way you can see which one prints a little bit differently, but they only show it for like 3 seconds. And like I'm sitting there going, this is a pretty important thing to show us what is the difference between what these units do. They don't really show, like, you know, it's all about a lot of the drama and dealing with the hype, because there's a lot of people who are like, this is a revolution, it's like Apple. And there's like, every time Brie Pettis comes on to talk about Maker, there's always comparisons to him and Steve Jobs. In fact, he goes like, oh, when I started the company, everyone wanted to be Woz, and they're like, you're gonna have to be our Steve Jobs. It's like, no, I want to be Woz, darn it. I'm just like, really, guys, you can't just be each other. Why you gotta compare yourselves to this, you know? I don't know. Brie Pettis is one of those guys. He seems like a nice enough dude. It's just every time I've seen him in something, he's always like the hipster, and he's always like too cool for school, or, you know, trying to run things. But I've seen him in like so many different things, like Maker and Maker Faire and the Maker, you know, podcast that they did. And then he was part of that crafting. There's like a spin-off of Maker. There's like crafting stuff, and then the MakerBot Industries. And
well,
yeah,
Can I sort of actually explain a little bit on the difference for people that don't know, like because I'm sure, like you said, they try to explain the differences between like the one that uses lasers and the other one that just extrudes plastic. The plastic one is it eats up like a nozzle that melts the plastic and prints it layer by layer, and then the laser like melts like this powder or whatever layer by layer, and it builds it. The advantage with the advantage with the powder versus the disadvantage, I guess, with the plastic is it's harder because since there's nothing supporting the structure of what you're printing on, it's hard to do like things like tunnels or things that hang over itself, you know. So like it would be sort of hard to do like a plane or whatever with wings.
Gravity affected objects.
Yeah. So it has to print out like little like support beams and stuff for it that you have to break away. Whereas with the powder, since it's like it's supported in the powder itself, the powder acts like a support material, and it's a lot easier to print crazy forms and stuff with it, you know.
Well, the thing they were stressing in the movie was that theirs was closer to what industrial 3D printers are doing on a larger scale, but those machines are like, you know, $8,000, $100,000, and they're going for like the $2,000, $3,000 market, and you know, the Maker bot was a lot cheaper than that, and it was really interesting, like, the angle that they were taking with it, showing, like, the companies, you know, and Maker, like, coming in, they're like, we all just want to be, like, you know, open source, and everybody keeps adding to it and stuff, and then in 2012, MakerBot went closed source, and it's like, oh,
I see
they went
how it
closed
is.
source? I didn't know that.
yeah, they went...
Crazy.
And there's that, and then they talked, like, there's one of the companies, they're like, yeah, we have a bunch of people that used to work at MakerBot, then they got fired, and now it's like, man, they're traumatized, it's missed, you know, and it's very interesting. They also talked to the guy who made the first 3D printed gun, and his whole...
Yeah, that Cody Wilson. Or
Yeah, they talked to him, and his whole thing, and, like, I mean, the thing is with him, like, I understand some of it. He's like, I just want people to know, like, oh, you can do that, you know? It's like, oh, did you know you can print a gun with that? He's like, not that you'll use it. And I'm sitting there going, not that they'll use it. You'll be able to print a gun. You have 3-point-something million people watching the video on how to do it and people downloading it, but not that you'll actually print a gun. And I'm sitting there going, well, then why do you need to upload the schematics on how to print your own gun? Except, you know, I don't know. It just...
The problem is it takes... You have to know some shit to be able to do that and get it to work and fit and stuff, you know?
Well, like anything, you have to know a lot of stuff to do something well, but it doesn't take anything for Joe Schmo to do it first. He's not saying he won't blow his arm off. And that was a big part of the thing too, you know, because as they were showing the development of MakerBot Industries, you know, and Bree Pettis was kind of becoming like Cody guy's like enemy kind of thing, and he's like, oh, I don't know what he stands for. He took down my you know, gun models from the store, so I put up my own site. Now the federal government's, you know, saying I should take them down, and is, you know, it's interesting.
He puts it on like some torrents and stuff then.
Well, it's just like the whole thing, it's like, I understand the idea of you wanting to make a scene, but, you know, do you really, like, do you want to go down in history as the guy who you know, when people start dying from the 3D printed guns, do you want to be the guy who first put those up there? I mean, it was a big news thing, like, you know, they had, the day he released it had like 3.8 million video views or whatever, and then that next week, MakerBot released that RoboHand thing, you know, a video showing how kids were using like $5 prosthetics to have hands again. You know, and they only got a small amount of coverage for that, and I don't know, I mean, it was a good film. It had a nice pacing of, you know, like, here's where things are going. Like, they had like the guy from Fluid Labs. They were like, they had some inner office politics going on there too, where like one of the founders also left. A lot of the founders left MakerBot. It was interesting. Even the guy's dad. His dad joined the team, and then later they were talking to him. He's like, well, you know, they were looking for somebody that could be there all the time, and like I could only give them like a weekend at a time. So, you know, I'm here for them, you know, otherwise what they need. And like, wow, that's that's pretty heavy, man. It's, it's a well balanced film. I think it's just,
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna need those TPS reports. I need you to stay in on Sunday.
Well, here's the thing. His dad, they talked to his dad. His dad has a book about being an entrepreneur that, they're talking about. He's like, oh yeah, he was born and raised to grow up and be an entrepreneur and all this stuff. And I'm just like, if everybody they're interviewing in this film is credited as either entrepreneur or that Cody guy was credited as anarchist, it's like, I don't know. That's what I had problems with, is like the hype and the personality. And it's like, it's the thing of like, oh, a lot of these people, they're vying for what they're going to be known for in like 20, 30 years. They want to be the Steve Jobs of this field, or the this or that of this field. And there's some of that. It's like there was very little actually showing. Like, there was a lot of drama though of like, Fluid Labs, when their prototype they got the Kickstarter, they raised like 3 million, and they're like, okay, and they had to delay for like 6 months because of printer problems. Because the lasers weren't working right, so yeah.
Well, so you're saying that it's sort of like that a lot of people were upset when they found out who was it, that Olivia Munn girl or whatever that was on the G4 channel. People find out that she's not really a geek or whatever, like she was trying to make herself out to be or whatever.
Oh no, it wasn't any of that. It's just like the movie is about these people. Like, at the end of the film, there's an interview with a guy that explains the title, and he's like, a legend is basically an extruded and expanded upon idea of a person. It was like whether or not what the truth is. It's like, historically what a person is and everything kind of gets lost. And whatever the legend they become, like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and all these other people, they became legends outside of, who they are as actual people, for better or for worse. And, it's like they're trying to vie for that. I guess it's a form of immortality. I don't know. It was an interesting film to watch.
Well, so what do you think with the MakerBot? Because one of the things, like, that Barnacules Nerdgasm guy on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does like a lot of 3D printing videos and stuff, but he uses like the Ultimaker and another like Robo 3D printer. And he said the reason that he doesn't, because he's got like a crazy rig and stuff. He's like, you could do like an MTV Cribs on just his studio room, which he does do a lot of tours of it, I guess. But the thing is, you would think that he would get like the most expensive, like the MakerBot 3D printer and stuff, but he said he doesn't want to use it because of the proprietary software and stuff, and it's I guess, like you said, it's not open source.
Yeah, it's not open source. And another thing they did was the company got acquired by one of the bigger industrial printers. So, and then towards the end of the film, they say he's no longer the CEO. He's moved on to a different branch in the company, and it was I don't know. It's an interesting film.
My question was going to be, do you think then because that's what it seems like with the things that are open source, it seems like you could get a lot more creative and a lot more innovative stuff that could come out of it. It sounds like maybe the MakerBot, because the whole thing with the MakerBot, I just, like with the 2X and stuff, is it was supposed to be like an experimental printer where you could do different materials and stuff with it. And
they mentioned
like
that
all of that stuff might be halted now. Then
well, they mentioned that during the thing, like when they first started out, like they had some of the co-founders there, and they were like, we don't think like we like the idea of it being open source, just because they're part of the whole maker community and Maker Faire and all that stuff. It's a big field, and they're like, we like the idea of it being open source because people can add to it, and then we can put that back into it. And then he's like, and they're like, we don't like the idea of like somebody improving it and then keeping that closed for themselves. And then then later, when it goes closed source, one of the engineers leaves. So the only original guy left was like Pettis. So it was, and I don't know. It's interesting. Like that machine got founded in the open source field and developing for expanding and experimentation, and slowly but surely, like a big part of the film.
Minecraft.
Well, a big part of the film is they're showing like it's open for interpretation of, do you think that Microbot kind of sold their soul a little bit with selling to the bigger company for like, what was it, like 60 million or something? I don't know. I don't know.
Sounds like Microbot's going to become less fun. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know, man. Well, like they were talking about that. Like every time they show them getting new offices, like they all crammed into one place. They're like, we're not making a lot of money. We're here because we want to work, and we believe in the project. And then later they move to a bigger office and they have like 80 people, and they move to a bigger one, they have like 300 people, and it's like, man, we've got like, it's a lot of, we have meetings now, and you can't just like, implement. It's like, it's a lot slower to get stuff done. We can't just like come up with a cool thing and have it done by the end of the week. It's different environment.
Soon the economy Microbot at the low end model is going to be like 20 grand now instead of 1,500 or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's how much the one I wanted was. It was like 30K. Well, I want 5 colors. I want 5 different colors.
Yeah. Well, you can always paint them, man.
I can't paint. That takes skill.
But it doesn't necessarily. It does take a little bit of skill, but you gotta have patience too. That's the main thing.
I want to print out an action figure, and then I want to play with it.
Well, you could just have somebody else print it for you.
Yeah.
So.
That's true too. Or you could have somebody else paint it for you.
Yeah, I suppose. But even the $30,000 one wasn't one I wanted. They only had like 4 colors.
Yeah.
I'm like, forget it. I want 5.
Well, the problem though is even if you could do like 5 colors and stuff, you're not gonna be able to get like blending of colors, and like you're not gonna be able to do like patterns and stuff. It's gonna be like solid either or this color. You know what I mean?
Lame.
Meanwhile, Doug is taking a nap.
Yeah.
Got no horse in the race, guys.
Well, what do you think of 3D printing, Doug? Like, what would you do if, like, the Replicator came out one day, and you could just make a thing you wanted? Didn't have to order from Amazon anymore. Didn't have to go to the store.
He'd make a new belt for the trivia.
I could probably finish one model kit because I'd have to like replicate it like 20 times.
Yeah.
Why do you strike me as the type of guy to be like, oh, I can make a piece for this puzzle that I haven't finished yet, and then like you lose it before you even get it to the table, and you're like, oh man, I gotta go back and make another one. You get it, you get distracted, you lose that one.
Yeah.
Have you been videotaping me?
Only on weekends. Anyway.
Well, the one problem me and Ben were talking about is, that comes out is, oh, you wouldn't 3D print out a car, would you? Oh, you would. That Coke bottle, this is the IP of 3D printing stuff out,
Yeah, 3D printing. The problem, I think, when you watch the documentary, there's so much hype and hyperbole, and people like, oh, it's the revolution, it's gonna be great, and it's just like it reminds me of hyped videos when they're explaining the home computer thing in like the 1980s. So you see a monochrome screen and you're like, ooh, it's the future. It's like, give it about 10, 20 years, then it'll be the future. Right now, you're still working the kinks out, guys. Give it till I don't have to pay $2,000-$3,000 to have one. When there's the equivalent of a MakerBot that costs like $100, maybe.
There is a 3D printer that costs $100, but I'm pretty sure it sucks.
Yeah, but it's going to be like maybe an inch tall figure at most.
Well, you can get pretty affordable 3D printers. It's just the lower you go on the money scale is the more you have to like put it together and assemble it. It is like a puzzle in itself of putting it together. But there's a whole culture that goes around that too, where they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna print out my own 3D gear for this part, and I can upgrade this, and it gets to be like cars and stuff. You know?
And then it's real life Minecraft where you're printing out the engine, and then you're printing out the tail for the car, and then you're driving it.
Yeah.
People do that, man. I mean, I've seen people get obsessed with like finding stuff. They're like, oh, I can build my own computer for much cheaper, and I can have all these magical things. If I go and find this, and then I gotta find this part, and then I gotta spend all my nights and weekends oil cooling it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand people getting into the water cooling and stuff because you could overclock that, and then that's free horsepower, you know. But it's like, it's not necessarily free now, is it? After you do all this, invest in all this water cooling and stuff, you know.
Man, I don't know, man.
Those electronics don't like water.
Well, actually, I've seen like water case or case mods where it's like in an aquarium, like the parts and stuff are in like some kind of oil-based solution or something.
Oil and water don't mix, though.
Yeah, I don't see like Facebook water Facebooking like electricity. I want to do that now.
Alright.
Make a page for both of them.
So,
But
anyway.
well, did they talk about that at all though? Like in the movie about like IP and 3D printing?
They talked about a few things. It was mostly anything about controversy was about the guy and his guns and like, rifle magazines and this and that for it.
Right.
I mean, it's still one of those things where like 10 years ago people didn't know what 3D printing is, and now it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Someday I'll have one, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think 3D printing that'll be like turn out to be the main huge invention of our youth, I guess?
Well, a lot of people are. The thing is, right now, there's a lot of technologies that are starting out. Like, look at the Oculus Rift. There are people like, that's the future, and it's like, it will be when it gets out of dev kit status, and you can actually have it work in every game. Yeah, I mean, look at
It supports all Steam games now.
Well, to varying degrees, I'm sure. I mean, the DevKit 2 games doesn't necessarily play games that worked on DevKit 1. So there's, yeah, it's one of those things. There's a lot of technology that like Microsoft's working with that Illuma Room stuff. They'll project stuff on the walls and have Kinects that see the walls and adjust for things in your room. But it only works for like certain already made setups or like certain conditions. So we're still a long ways from having the holodeck, but
Yeah.
You alright over there, Doug?
What's that? Oh boy. Is he gonna say something profound now?
Giddy up, boom,
Here we
bop,
go.
boom, bop, 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 bop.
I shall hold my
Come on with
commentary.
it. Oh, come on. After all that, you're gonna hold the commentary at it?
I have very visceral feelings about how some people think that it's going to end up being, both from a standard point of view and a pragmatic point of view. And it's another one of those things that has been pushed before, just like 3D, and will fade into obscurity before too long.
Well, I mean, I've talked before about that article that said that Minority Report kind of ruined future technology because everyone expects technology to look like Minority Report. And it's like, no, it could be a lot cooler and more applicable, but you guys want to see the glowing lights in your face. Ooh. You want the holograms to be waves of air, whatever.
What about that? What was that called? That Google Cardboard or whatever?
What about it?
Isn't that pretty similar to the Oculus Rift? I don't know that much about it.
It's a fun little toy. It's just something Google put together. You can get a kit for it or cut your own. You just gotta get the lenses and stuff and download it. it's all. I mean, there's all kinds of variations on the Oculus. There's, the project. Is it Mobius or Morpheus? I think from Sony, and then
Morpheus.
Then there's a couple. There's
Morpheus.
a couple other knockoffs and stuff. So, but yeah, there's different kinds of technologies that are all trying to be the next big thing. And I don't know. Social media was supposed to be the next big thing, and now we're all like, do I have to get contact invites again, guys? I thought we were all on the Google Plus, or are we hanging out somewhere else now? All right.
I don't know. I still want to get an answer from Doug though, if he would print out a WWF belt.
No, I'm just not. I'm just not really pressed about the whole 3D printing thing at the moment. It's just not something I'm really interested in.
Nah, you're still thinking about the Ebola.
Yeah.
Alright.
Some people calling it Obola.
People and they're calling things. Anyway, so we've been
What did you
talking
wanna
for a
talk-
while. What?
What did you want to talk about? Movies that you want to see? I mean, I need to go see this 3D printing stuff, and like I said, you need to go see or you need to watch the Silicon Valley series from Mike Judge.
Mike Judge, I tell you what. Yeah, I need to watch that. There's a lot of TV shows I've been meaning to catch up on. And there's some shows I'd never heard of until apparently I'd found out, like Fish Police. I've told you about that one, right?
Fish Police.
Yeah, that was a '90s cartoon I'd never heard of with John Ritter as like a gumshoe detective in an animated fish world. And then
I'd actually seen a couple episodes of that.
I've seen some of it online. I haven't watched a
okay.
full episode yet. I think it's in like Capital Critters range of what the heck. Also, have you guys ever seen Pirates of Dark Water?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's one of those
Yeah.
shows I'd never seen it. I'd never heard of it until like I'd started looking at like '90s, like lists of like TV shows that were great that got canceled. I'm just like, I'd never heard of this show. So
I mean, either. I'm
They did a
surprised.
couple of video games.
apparently it got canceled
Oh,
before
really?
they found all the stuff on the show. Like it was a big retrieval series, and they didn't get all the things or something like that. I don't know.
Like, they had a Dungeons and Dragons TV show.
Yeah, but I never
But
watched
none
that.
of I watched that as a kid and, like, a bunch of other failure TV shows.
The roommate owned the entire series.
I don't know. My brother was trying to find that Dog City show for a long time. You remember that Jim Henson show with puppet dogs that was an animator who was drawing a cartoon show about dogs that were private investigators? Yeah, that's the inception of Henson programming.
Oh my god.
Inside this world is another world, even crazier, where the dogs are cartoonists. Don't ask me why.
What about you, Nate? Is there anything that you have on your to-do list of watching?
Let's see. Nope, pretty sure I've seen everything. Just about everything.
Really? Is there anything you've seen lately that you want to share? Like at the theater or something?
Oh, at the theater? No.
Theater!
Oh, actually, did you watch that one movie? Because we were supposed to watch that second Captain America movie, but you didn't.
Oh, no, I haven't gotten to see that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Well, in
you
that
wanna
case,
watch
you
it 'cause
missed
you
the
were gonna
part-
watch it the next day. Huh?
So in that case, you missed a part when Captain America jumps out of the plane.
And then Ian hasn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet, so
Oh, I haven't seen
No,
that
I
either.
do need.
you both
You
need to go
saw
see
it?
that right now.
No. I don't know, like, it's about a raccoon.
No,
Raccoon? I don't think so.
The Guardians of the Galaxy, like, one of the guys is a raccoon. I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's a raccoon.
and the movie is awesome.
Is it, Doug? Is it?
It's got green Zoe Saldana. How can it not be awesome? It's got that rockin' theme song. Come and get your love.
It sort of looks like the same kind of humor as like the Deadpool movie or something. I don't know.
No. Not quite.
Well, what did you give it, Doug? Was what did you give it, a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10?
It's honestly the best Marvel movie they've ever made. Hands down.
Hands down, better than the Avengers?
Yep.
What did you like about it so much then? Break it down.
Well, number one, it's even though it's an introductory film, which most introductory films reek of more exposition that's really needed. You get the bare minimum. You don't get a whole bunch of crap that you don't care about. The pacing of the entire movie is fantastic. Nothing feels like a lull. There's nothing really going on in that movie that's like you're sitting there bored. Also, all the bad guys are good and you want to hate them. And everybody who's on the Guardians of the Galaxy team fills the role to perfection. So.
I'm going to need that guy's leg.
Mm-hmm. Nate wants to know, including the raccoon.
Including Bradley Cooper as the raccoon.
He was a good character. That character was very easy to mess up, and I think they did just the right amount with him.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, the raccoon talks?
Yeah.
Yes.
He talks, and he has some of the best dialogue in the movie.
That's not a real laugh. That is real. That is the most real laugh I've had in my entire life. Because 12% is not a plan. I am Groot. I don't care if it's better than 11.
Oh, well, I don't have that long a lifespan anyway. Anyway. So, I think
as far as what I want to see, I was gonna say, as far as my list, I still, like I said, need to see the Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, that, and I'd like to see
have you seen that Tron show?
Thing.
Have you seen that? Well, that's only a couple seconds long. You can, like a minute long. You can watch that. But
well, I watched it, but if they do a Popeye movie, I'm gonna.
Well, it needs to be made before you can watch it.
Yeah, I know.
I thought they had a Popeye movie.
Yeah, they did with Ron Williams. We're not talking about that. That doesn't exist. So, but Ian, you said you got through watching all the Gargoyles shows again. Have you gotten around to watching the Tron animated series yet?
No, I still need to. I gotta download those.
You mean watch it from a legitimate source, don't you, Ian?
Well, you download from legitimate sources. You could get it, like you could buy and then download it from rip it from the DVD. You're allowed to do that. Or you could download it from iTunes. iTunes lets you download stuff.
All right then. So, I think we've been talking a good while. Is it about time for trivia, guys? Is it time for me to see you in the ring?
Oh yeah. Well, as long as you have a proper dress code, brother.
I'll tell you what, brother. Just gonna have this big belt, my boots, and my Speedo. Yeah.
Oh boy. Alright, let's go ahead.
This is riveting podcasting.
Hold on.
Do. yeah, trivia at the end. Oh yeah, trivia at the end. So what trivia are we doing this week, guys?
What do you want to do, Nate?
Whatever.
Whatever, ever.
Except sports.
You don't want to do any sports?
Oh man, you know I totes love the sports game, yo. Word.
Well, we got animation, which I don't think we'll probably do because that would be unfair. Me and Ben, you know. There's comics, games, general knowledge, movies, politics, and technology.
How about we just go with general knowledge?
Okay.
Says Sergeant Slaughter.
Good.
And that's water.
See? Alright.
Yeah, I got. Oh yeah, let me clear out these scores here. You can go
Okay.
ahead and
Start reading. What is the longest river in Asia? The Irish, Yangtze, Huanghe, Lena.
I guess I'll knock off this shindig here. I'll go with B.
start it off. B as in boy.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
C.
I'm gonna go with C as well. Huanghe.
He. Yeah, I'll go with that. That sounds more Asian. So let's see. Let's see.
And
the
the
winner is.
answer is
Oh, Doug got it. I should have gone. I was
Oh.
thinking about going with Doug.
Yang. See, it was one of those two. It was either Yangtze or Huanghe, because I've known the Huanghe River, but I didn't know if it was the longest or what. So,
This is where the power lies, brother.
okay.
Quiet. Be quiet.
In computer talk, what does CPU stand for? Computer Professional Unit, Computer Processing Unit, Central Processing and Processor Unit, Central Processing Unit.
This is Nate's going first, so he gets to go first on this.
Fun. It's gonna look bad if I say this wrong.
Yeah, I think we all know what this is. I mean, come on.
D. Central Processing Unit.
Yeah, it's D. I mean, come on.
D. Yep.
Yeah, it's D. And the answer, just to make sure we're not all wrong, Central Processing Unit. Everyone gets a point. What is a fluffy duck? Cocktail, restaurant meal, type of flower, bath toy. Let's see. This would be Ian's call.
That'll be me. Yeah, we'll just cycle through it. This is a fluffy duck.
What do you say?
I'm gonna go with A.
Yep.
Yeah.
A.
Yep, it's A.
Yeah, I'm going to go with A as well. And the
Any
answer,
particular reason you're going with A, Ben?
well, it would either be that or a type of flower, because all the others just seem silly. So I'm going to go with cocktail. Makes more sense. Because why gamble? Cocktail is the correct answer. Who did Andre Agassi play in the semifinals of Wimbledon for 3 years running, ending with 2001? Was it Pete Sampras, Pat Rafter, Tim Henman, or George Batzel? And this is me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you.
Let's see. Semifinals, Wimbledon. Of course I'm up to date on... I'm going to go with George Betzel.
Okay. Is there any reason for that?
It sounds familiar. Of course, sort of Pete Sampras, but then again, every name sounds familiar when you say them enough.
I'll go with A. You said you're going with C or D?
Yes, I'm going with D.
Okay, what are you going with, Nate?
I'll go with A because I don't know.
What about you with Doug? You going
Sampras.
with D as in Doug?
Sampras.
So I'm the lone wolf here, huh? Alright. And the answer. Pat Rafter. Ha 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 ha. None of us got that one. Ha ha ha.
Oh, I gotta do it. Oh, man.
And what ocean is the deepest point on Earth? Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean.
Why isn't ex-girlfriend on this list? But
Why?
Oh, man, what is... This is you, dog. Go ahead.
I don't know why, but some part of me wants to say Pacific Ocean, so I'll go with B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, too.
C.
You're going with C?
Yep.
I'm going to go with Indian Ocean. Just for some variety.
So you're going with terrorist ocean? I mean, Indian Ocean?
You think Indians are terrorists?
The thing about the Indian Ocean that made me one of the deepest one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Indians are not the same as... Anyway.
I'm just joking. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And the answer...
I just group it all together. It's like Asia. Are you Asian? I'm gonna go... What doesn't Doug have to say? What's Doug going
You
with?
went first, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I went with Pacific, so did Nate.
No, I went with Atlantic.
Oh, you went with Atlantic.
Yeah, I went with Pacific.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. And okay, let's see who wins. Yeah.
Pacific Ocean. That's alright. You won't see me coming when I come up from behind and snap you on neck, brother. Alright. What does the word kamikaze literally mean in Japanese? Suicide pilot, divine wind, death wish, beautiful death.
It's Nate.
D?
D?
I have no idea.
Yep, I'll go with D. Beautiful death.
Is there any reason you're going with that, though?
Well, if you break down Kami and Kazi, Kami, if you could go with the suicide, diving, death, or beautiful, which one would it sound like?
Well, when when you say kamikaze, people are, you're referring to the suicide pilot, but I don't know if that's the exact literal meaning of the word, you know?
It just seems a little too obvious to me, so that's why I picked D.
I'm pretty sure it's Divine Wind. I've heard it in a number of documentaries. I can never remember details like that. But I'm pretty sure it's Divine Wind.
Okay. But you two are going with D. Should I go with them or should I go with Ben? I think I'm gonna go with Ben.
No, I said D. Beautiful Death.
Yeah, you and Nate are going. I'm gonna go with Ben. Beautiful Wind.
Divine Wind.
Or Divine Wind.
And the answer.
Right. Yes.
Divine Wind. Yes. All right. I like that Doug losing has frozen him in position on his cam on my screen. Oh, man. All right.
So this is gonna be.
Who won the men's 200m freestyle at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney? Gary Hall Jr., Ian Thorpe, Peter van der Hoogemond, Alexander Popov.
I'm gonna go with myself.
You're gonna go with Ian Thorpe.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go with Ian Thorpe as well. It sounds familiar, but then again, so does Gary Hall. So
Yeah.
B.
You're going with B too.
Yep.
I'll go the weird choice and go Alexander Popov.
all right,
Pop off.
and the correct answer is
Probably got this one wrong, but it will.
Peter van der Hoogemond. Oh, we all got it. Buzzer. Oh man, Peter van der Hoogemond. Oh well.
Jetter van der Hoogemond.
Man, I'm horrible at pronouncing non-American names, but like Dutch and other Norwegian and similar sounding languages, I have so much trouble with. I don't know. Lightning strikes from the ground up. True or false?
Oh yeah, this is you, man.
This is me, huh? Gonna say false.
True.
Yeah, it's true, man.
All right.
What are you going with, Nate?
Sure, I'll go with true. Why not?
Because it's the right answer.
Yeah, because that's a misconception. I mean, we can wiki it if you want, but it
No.
actually
Cool.
comes from the ground.
That's cool. In what year did the Titanic sink? 1921, 1911, 1912, 1913.
I honestly cannot remember off the top of my head. So I will say 1912.
More, you open the door.
Nope.
Have you seen that alternate ending of Titanic that's been going around?
Why would I want to do a thing like that?
I hear it's pretty funny.
Did you see it, Nate?
No.
Doug and I knew a guy in high school who saw it in the theater like 12 times.
Let's not get on that subject, please.
Yeah, let's get on the subject.
I saw the movie 3 times because my sister and her 2 friends and me, we got to vote on what movie we wanted to see, and I'm like, who doesn't want to see Titanic? And I'm like, me, and then it's like, who wants to see Titanic? And then all 3 raised their hands. 9 hours of my life were gone.
Hey,
Turn in
man.
your man card.
Well, to be fair, that movie does have boobs, so it balances out.
Balance.
My brother owns it on VHS. A 2 VHS set. So,
Why does he own a VHS? Begin with?
because that movie was that old. So, but yeah, 1912.
I would have ripped it off.
1912. What are you guys going with?
That's what Doug went with, so you're going with that too, Ben?
No, I know that's the answer. That's why I'm going.
Oh, okay. What did Doug say? Did he say that too?
He said in
'Cause
1912.
he was... Okay.
He was just blowing the smoke out his butt.
Well, since I'm... I definitely didn't care to watch it myself voluntarily. I'm just going to go with you guys.
Yep. Don't want to look stupid on the podcast, so I'll just go with everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, like you'd have any danger of looking stupid on our podcast after all the stuff we've done. Although, after doing Doug's show the other night with butts and boobs, 1912.
My anaconda don't.
Doug's anaconda better not. Doug's anaconda better not. Anaconda more like garden snake. Ooh. More like inchworm.
Wasn't there a song called White Snake?
There's a band called White Snake. What are the only two countries to compete in all the modern Olympics at the end of the 20th century? Greece and Japan, Greece and France, Greece and Australia, Greece and America. Well, I guess Greece is one of them, isn't it?
I'm going to go with Greece for 100, Alex.
Yes, well, suck it, Trebek. Anyway.
So this is Nate's. Kind of go first.
Let's see. I'll go with... We'll go... D? I don't know.
D?
I don't watch the Olympics.
Are you going to go with Ben?
Why are you skipping over me? Shouldn't you be going in?
Well, I guess... I don't know. I really don't keep up on the rotation. I just really concentrate on who goes first. That's the most important thing. So it'll get too confusing if we try to keep up who goes second and third and fourth. And I don't know.
I'm just following on the list of names.
But, well, I mean, I guess I could say... I'll go... I don't think it's... I'd like to say it was America.
Well,
I don't know.
I know it's not because we didn't do the one that was in Nazi Germany, and I don't think we did the one in the 80s that was in Russia or something.
I believe it is C, Greece and Australia.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, me too. Because France sounds like they would object at some point, and then Japan there was also the war. But Australia, it's like I don't know. I'd go with C.
They're pretty neutral on that, so yeah, I guess so.
I haven't watched the Olympics since, like... Well, I watched a little bit, but... I'd watch cartoons as a kid, and then, like, for, like, 2 months, my cartoons were gone because of the stupid Olympics.
Greece and Australia. There was a... the last time I saw the Olympics, they had a thing where they had to ski and then pull out a gun and sharpshoot. And I'm like, you know what? The Olympics doesn't get the credit it deserves if this stuff is on here. So, I don't know. Alright. So is that...
Just to recap on our running scores here, Ben. I have 7, Ben has 5, Doug has 7, Nate has 4. Just to recap, if there's people maybe listening to just the audio of this.
So, I was just saying we've ticked over to General Knowledge Part 2. Does that mean we're past it, or...?
We got... that's... I just do that to divide in half, like, if I have to put 2 quizzes in there that are only 10 questions long. We usually do 20 questions, so I just do it to divide it up. So these are from 2 different general knowledge quizzes.
Alright.
To add up to 20.
Okay. Well, I remember we had, didn't we have this one last week? This question, or not last week, but didn't we have this question before?
It could have been. I mean, there could be ones that are included in different quizzes. So,
Well, if you guys don't remember it, then I'll ask you. In which country was Adolf Hitler born? Germany, Holland, Poland, or Austria?
who's going first of that?
I will say Austria.
Yeah, I totally forget about that. Wasn't it? Didn't it turn out to be Austria? What are you gonna go with, Ben?
Well, it's Austria because that's the answer I told you last time we did.
Yeah.
D.
So you gonna go with that too, Nate?
Yep.
All right. I just follow the leader, I guess. Austria.
Which of these bear species is the largest? Polar bear, black bear, brown bear, grizzly bear. Whose turn is it? Nate's?
What the heck is going on?
He's trying to give me a point, and the computer doesn't want to give a point.
I think my mouse was acting weird. I have a wireless mouse, so I think it was dying and it was acting weird.
Okay. Do-do-do-do, ba-do-do-do, do-do-dee-dee-dee-dee-doo-doo-doo.
But
Stupid monkey.
So I'm assuming it's a polar bear.
So that's Nate's answer.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
And what are you going to go with there, Doug?
I'm gonna buck the system and go with the brown bear.
I'm going to say the grizzly bear.
Well, the grizzly, I think, is supposed to be the most ferocious and like territorial, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
Let's find out.
That doesn't mean biggest.
Well, let's go, Vato.
Well, go ahead. Pick. Which one do you pick, Ian?
I'm gonna go with Nate. I'm gonna say the polar bear because those things are really huge, big, man.
I know, like the
Okay.
Eskimos, they usually have to like stab a steel, and then they'll coat the knife in like seal blood, so it'll keep like licking it, so it'll bleed to death, which is kind of morbid.
That is morbid.
All right.
Okay,
and the
I'm going
answer. You're going with polar
Okay,
bear.
well, so me and Nate said polar bear. What did you say, Ben? You said grizzly.
I say
and
grizzly.
What did Nate say? What did Nate say?
Well, Nate's.
Polar
Nate,
bear.
you mean you're going with?
Or
what
I
did
mean
say?
Doug.
Doug said
Brown
brown bear.
Brown bear. Okay. What is it? Yeah, polar
Oh, polar bear. Well, it looks like I'm just gonna have to take Ian out now. Forget taking out Doug. After-
I want to see Doug's face. Are you mad yet, Doug? You getting worried?
Brother, this ain't no title match.
This is. You say that every time you're about to lose or you do lose.
After
Hey,
whom?
Even when I win, it's not a title match.
After whom was the Nobel Prize named?
Okay, so who's going first?
Awkward silence.
Well,
Anyone
Nate
know?
first, so I'll go first on it. I'll go.
I know.
First and last name. Oh, this is. Oh, why did I say I'll go first?
I'll go last since I know. Or at least I think I know.
Oh, you think you know?
Mm-hmm.
You think you know
It
me?
was kind of messed up. Oh man.
I'll just go with Graham Nobel, I guess. I don't know. What are you gonna go with, Ben?
I'll just say Alexander Nobel.
Alfred Nobel.
I thought it was like Alexander Nobel. It was like the creator of like dynamite, and then he felt really really bad because like so many people like died that like he spent all the money on the Nobel Peace Prize and the award thing or something.
Well, let's find out. First and last name, Alfred Nobel.
Alfred.
Nobel.
I should remember Batman.
Didn't Doug say that?
Yeah, that's why Doug gets that one. That was close. I said Alexander. I guess I could have been conflating. I could have been conflating Alexander Graham Bell though. So, all right. What is the last letter of the Greek alphabet? Answer: one word.
I wish I was going on first on this one. I know this one,
Omega.
but this. It was supposed to be Ben's turn. He was gonna go. Now you gave it to him.
Well, I was gonna say something like Omega as well. I don't know the whole alphabet and I don't know it in order, but Omega I believe is the final. So
I am the
Yeah, I thought
Alpha
it was
and the
Ben's
Omega. I am the first and last.
the Omega Man.
Yeah.
What's Nate say?
Omega.
Alpha is the first, Omega is the last. I'm the beginning and the end. I am God. No, I don't want to say that. Probably get struck by like
From the ground.
You read the Bible,
yeah,
Brett?
from the ground.
Not in a long time. What's the answer? Just make sure we got it on here. Omega. What is the total surface area of the Earth, including water? 193 million square miles, 197 million square miles, 203 million square miles, 207 million square miles.
You could go first because you were supposed to go first on the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I see. I was supposed to go first. Well, then.
You could go then.
Surface area, I'm going to say 197 million.
This is a public service announcement.
Who was that?
It's me phoning a friend.
I will say 193 million miles. A.
Eh?
Go with C. Were you going with, Nate?
I'll go with A. Why not?
Okay, what about you? So, I'm C, Nate's A. Doug is, what are you, Doug?
A.
And I was B.
And what about you?
B.
Okay.
And the answer, 197 million square miles, 'cause I'm right. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Underdog coming up.
You and Nate were tied, and now you're gonna get ahead. Now you're ahead of him.
Which of these is not one of the 7 natural wonders of the world? Victoria Falls, Great Barrier Reef, Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Grand Canyon.
This is Nate.
A.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with A myself.
I'll go with the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon is a great wonder.
I'm going to go with the Grand Canyon as well.
Okay. So it's me and Nate versus you two. Okay.
Oh wait, it says natural wonders. But too late.
We chose our destiny, Nate.
Yep.
Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Well, see, I knew that one was one of the wonders of the ancient world, but when you say wonders of the world, natural wonders, I don't know. But then again,
stuck on that one.
But then again, Hanging Gardens. So this should be another buzzer question. You all suck. Well, you know, I heard only one of those natural wonders is still around. Like, the original natural wonders. Pretty sure. Well, let's see. Well, maybe I'm thinking of a different one, because there was the Hanging Gardens. So that was, yeah, I don't know. Natural wonders of the world versus wonders of the ancient world. So, oh well. Let's move along to our next question. Which three countries made up the Axis powers in World War II? Italy, France, and Germany. Germany, Italy, and Japan. Germany, Italy, and Russia. Germany, Russia, and Japan.
Oh my God, this is me. I am terrible with history and geography, right?
Oh no.
World War history. I'm real bad with the World War history stuff.
Oh no, Ian, why? If you traveled back in time, you were so screwed.
Yeah, Axis power. Well, I know Germany was definitely one of them.
Do 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 do.
They try to trick you with this A because they put Germany last.
Do do do.
I'm gonna say D. D as in Doug.
Let's say B as in boy.
Yeah, B.
Which are you gonna go with A?
I'll
You
go.
pay attention in history.
I'm bad with names. I know Russia was like in the Cold War, and I know Germany and Japan was one of them, so it's either B or D. And as far as the score goes, tying, I'll go with B because everybody else is going with it, even though.
You and Doug went with B, right?
Well,
As a
yeah,
boy?
because Russia was our ally during World War II.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna go with Mr. History Buff there, or are you gonna go with me?
I said B.
Okay, you can go with B. Okay, I'll be alone in this.
Ian was alone. He was all by himself. Germany, Italy, and Japan. Because we know facts. Oh well. What is said to be the oldest race in the world? Aztecs, Romans, Australian Aborigines, Egyptians.
Okay, so this is you, man.
I'm leaning towards Aborigines or Egyptians. I'm gonna go with the Egyptians.
Okay,
I'll go with Aborigines.
I'm going with that too.
Aborigines.
I hate you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Australian Aborigines. That's alright.
Australia, the Egyptian. That's like the ancient.
Well, Aztecs aren't around anymore, and Romans got taken over by Italy. I don't know. Became Italy anyway. I don't know what they got taken over with. They fell. I don't know.
They were pretty old though. The Egyptians probably would be the second one though.
Yeah. Alright, so who was born with the name Cassius Clay? Was it Jesse Owens, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King, Spike Lee?
I am the greatest. I am the champion. My name is Muhammad Ali.
His mama call him Clay. I'ma call him Clay. Muhammad Ali.
So you're gonna go with B, Doug?
It's Muhammad Ali.
Okay, so well, since this is the guy that's obsessed with wrestling and fighting, I guess I'll go with him. Go with B. Are you
Muhammad
go with
Ali
B,
was a
Ben?
boxer. I said B right after he did.
Yeah, that's
Mama.
what I said. Wrestling, fighting, stuff, whatever.
B, sure.
Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest boxing champions to ever lace up a pair of boots.
I just can't believe that. How many rounds did they used to go for?
Well, that one fight only went one round. First minute, first round. BAM!
But didn't they used to go for like 12 rounds or something ridiculous?
Yeah.
That's really
If all of the continents were placed in alphabetical order, which one would come first? Answer, one word.
This is Nate. This is no multiple choice, Nate. You gotta fill in the blank. Get the answer in.
Africa? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Aren't that many continents, really?
Antarctica is. Well, Antarctica is a continent, and that's AN. So
Yeah, and Africa would go before.
So Africa would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Africa. Hosers?
Africa.
Africa. Oh, man. Isn't that right, kitty cat? Yeah.
Okay, so that's the last answer. The score is I'm 13, Ben's 11, Doug's 14, and Nate's 11. So
11
Doug.
on guessing. Yeah.
So Doug wins.
So Ian and Doug must do a death match now. Like in that scene from Star Trek.
I almost had you, Doug. No. I was tied with him.
You see,
Or
it's
actually,
like
I was ahead of him at one time.
it's like this. You can be behind at one point. You can be equal at one point. When it comes right down to it, when the chips are down and it just goes away, it always goes. Me standing above, holding what is nearest and dearest to my heart, which is my championship belt. Stealing the show, stealing your girlfriend, and this is just the 5th best thing that I do.
And this is...
So what are the other 4 things,
Ben?
Doug?
Sorry, that was
Improvise on the fly.
Number 4 is this right here. I'm a promo guy. It's what I do. Number 3 is selling, which I do exceedingly well. Number 2 is just simply making this haircut
Selling out.
look good. And number 1, most important of all,
Lying on the internet.
I got the goods to back up everything that I say.
And
Don't be mad because you lost. Be happy because it happened. Alright?
I'm not mad. I was only 1 point behind you. I feel bad for Ben and Nate because they were like 2 points behind, and this is general knowledge, so they're generally dumber.
No, I just guessed on all 11.
Well, you know what, man? I'm just glad we live in an age where 2 people that have never physically met before can go neck to neck in a trivia game based on my show. You guys can.
I'm just messing. You guys.
You guys want to cut each other over a trivia game on my show? I'm special. Oh yeah. Man.
He'll probably get us on a politics one though, Doug.
Oh wait, try and sell me something then. What do you got?
Yeah, try to sell us that.
Try and sell Nate something.
Yes.
Try to sell
Something
Nate
about
something.
that belt.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you just one quick question. What do you do in your spare time?
Buy and sell stuff.
So you buy and sell stuff. Now, what PC do you use to buy and sell stuff?
The custom one, which I just replaced, and then I resold it for $400, but I took a loss on it.
So here's the thing that I want to know. When are you going to drop the zero and get with the hero, which is Apple? And when you talk about quality, you're going to be able to end up paying more for a Mac, but you know what? The resale value is there almost forever. When you really stop to think about it, the quality of parts that go into a Mac are far and above anything that any Windows piece of crap can put out. And also the support is something that is generally unmatched in any other product. When you talk about the free software updates, the free stuff that you get built into the Mac that you also download.
But there's no games. No sale.
You can get Steam on Mac.
Let me just go through the list.
Games.
Let me just go through the list of games I have on my machine right now. Let's see. Let this shortcut
There are
load up.
games for Mac, my friend. They are equal footing with PC as far as games that are available, and Steam is available for Mac.
Hey man, I game on my Mac. My Mac is the machine that I started computer gaming on, because I didn't really game on my PC. But then I got a Mac and I started getting games. And I start going,
the
hey.
games that are on Mac run better.
Well, let's be honest though. The hardware-wise, the reason you can't even play games,
Okay,
play really graphically intensive games, is because you have an Intel chip in there.
So, okay, my friend Tyler has a Mac, and I have 135 Steam games. Now, he can play 4 of them. So you tell me which has better support.
Quality
And it's
over
not
quantity.
because...
I have about 78 games in my
Quality.
Steam library, so just saying.
But Ben, what do you think about my point though, Ben, about Apple's selling out and just going with Intel on their chips?
Selling out.
Because
I don't know
sometimes
what
you
you
got to
call
go
it.
with the better hardware provider. I mean, they don't really go as far as. I mean, Apple is very much so interested in whatever works best for their product. If it means going with AMD, they'll go with AMD. If it means going with Intel, they'll go with Intel.
Well, Intel is Microsoft though, so I mean,
Yeah,
It's
plus,
not
like,
really
if, if,
specific a
it's the
Microsoft
parts that you
product.
put in your PC, man. Like,
Well,
it's
you
not
know, the
name.
Xbox 360 ran on PC, guys. So if you really want to start talking about processors, you know, are we ever gonna do that wank?
well, that's the Xbox. See, who cares about Xbox?
When you actually stop to think about it, most consoles run off a PowerPC architecture.
Well, and if we're really being honest, really, consoles versus computer gaming, there's really no comparison. Mods, the ability to just jack the graphics up. Computer gaming's where it's at. And on a Mac, you can play Mac games, and you can also play Windows games very easily. So, you can't play Mac games on a PC very easily, so therefore, Mac is the winner. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into this show, where we solved the question, which is better, Mac or PC? And,
Yeah,
PC.
yeah. I don't want to try to start a flame war. I mean,
Nah.
me and Nate are more for PC and stuff, but I don't want to. I mean, Apple does stuff. There was this whole thing.
yeah, but
going
Doug
on about-
won the match, and therefore he's declared that Mac is the winner. Sorry.
Well, the thing is Mac doesn't. They're not first on everything. It seems like they try to claim like they're the first on. I mean, there was phones before iPhone came out and stuff, you know.
So? They didn't. Hey, they're not saying they did it first. They're just saying they did it better.
When you go price versus what you get for your money, PC wins every single time.
Yeah, you can, because you can. I tell you, man, for what you pay on a PC, all those viruses, you get those. They come in. They come so free, man. So all you gotta do is just turn it on, and there's viruses.
Woohoo! No, seriously, when you talk about quality, I have a Power Mac G5 from 2003, and this guy has lasted longer than 5 PCs. 5.
How much did you pay for it though?
$80.
Ooh.
Did you buy it used?
Yes, I did. And it came with
How
a
much
fresh
would it
installed OS X 10 Leopard. And I
Okay,
can
now how
guarantee
much would
you
it
the
have
money
cost
that
brand new?
yeah, the money
At the
that I
time,
spent
when it first came out.
Yeah, the money that I spent to buy those other PCs actually exceeded the amount that I would have paid for the Power Mac, brand new.
Yeah, but did you go with a cheap PC? I mean, like, you could put like a Titan graphics card and like a bunch of other stuff and like.
And it'll still die in exactly the same amount of time that a normal PC would.
Well, the thing that sucks about Mac is that like you have to get specific video cards meant for Mac. You can't just get any kind of like NVIDIA like Titan or like Radeon card. It has to be a specific Radeon for the Mac.
That just ensures that it's going to work.
Yeah, you pay for
a
quality.
lot of times,
you don't.
A Titan.
You can't get as good of a card as you can because that's why I remember when Ben was trying to go out and look, he was looking at like a 5000 like a 57 HD for graphics card for the Mac, and I was like, dude, they're in the 7000s line. Why do you have to look for a Mac for the 5000 line? But that's, I guess, that ends up being that you have to find it has to be compatible with Mac, so you're sort of limited on that.
Right.
And then every 3 years you have to upgrade a video card for your PC, so you just dropped X amount of dollars on something that has a extremely finite lifespan.
Well, I've had a video card that's pretty good for a couple of years now. I'm not looking to upgrade it.
Yeah, neither am I.
I know people that will burn through video cards in 2 years, and they get the best one that's available at that time. That's sad.
I don't go looking for the best of the best. Like there's certain levels where
I'm not buying
you have
like
to
a
pay
$3,000 Titan card right now. No.
Yeah, you don't need to buy like $1,000 more video card just to have a little bit of extra performance. I mean, I just
Simple fact
that,
is,
like,
when you buy something for a Mac, you buy it for quality and you buy it for longevity. You buy something for PC, you buy it as a stopgap almost every single time.
I don't know, man. I just like being able to have choices on what hardware you put into your machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I hate
because
being proprietary.
having things be open source, that's really helped Android with the quality of their handsets, I'll tell you what.
Oh, probably don't want to start. We're only doing one flameware at a time here, buddy.
Welcome to Computer Cage Match. 4 men enter. No men leave. All bunch of babies leave. My computer is the best because... Well, anyway, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure and a blast talking to you for the past 2 hours and 49 minutes. It's fun times. And we will not reach an answer for this argument tonight because just like world poverty and starvation and, who has the best butt, Kim Kardashian or Jennifer Lopez, these questions won't be answered in one night. Although I can answer most of them. Yeah, okay, yeah. I just thought I'd throw out something topical. So, anyway.
Well, since we're starting a flame wars, let me ask Doug, what do you think on the video card, though? Do you think NVIDIA or AMD? What would you prefer? It seems like Mac people prefer AMD more than NVIDIA.
I always liked AMD's, like a lot of their options. NVIDIA has a very long,
agree on that, probably.
long lineage of having good quality parts. But then again, when I was trying to build my own PC a couple years back, I ended up going with an Intel, and I also went with an NVIDIA card. So Intel processor, Intel board with NVIDIA cards.
NVIDIA's drivers have always been kind of wonky when I had one. I had it.
Yeah.
They always kind of had issues. So, but then again, NVIDIA has all kinds of weird stuff right now. So,
Like the Shield.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
And that's the type of thing that's going to get them burnt in the long run too. Is that NVIDIA's like, well, we can branch out. Well, when you really start to branch out, you lose focus.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've never seen a video card do that kind of thing. I don't think, I'd see a device do something like that more so than a card. There's not going to be a lot of use for it, I don't think, in the long run. Anyway, we've prattled on for quite some time, and I think it's time for all of us to go and enjoy the rest of the evening, what little bit of it there is left.
Oh, the night's day's just beginning, man.
Flame Wars. It's like, hey, trivia matches and all that stuff, they end, but Flame Wars, they've only
Flame Wars
just
never
begun.
end.
No.
Flame Wars never change.
Well, I feel like I could probably argue like on the hardware side. I'm not going to try to argue the OS because I don't really have a lot of experience with the Mac OS,
It costs more.
Well, that's hardware-wise. As far as software-wise, I'm not going to try to get in that
It
argument,
costs more, but for
Lasts
things,
longer.
I say it's a matter of personal preference. If you enjoy your experience with it more and you think you get more out of it, then the cost is worth it. Because a lot of things are more upfront initial investment, but if you think they're worth it, then you can't really argue the matter one way or the other. If you want a cheaper device, pay for a cheaper device. I've used cheaper PCs, and I got my more expensive Mac, and yes, it was a bit of a burden, but I plan on keeping it 10 years plus, which is a lot longer than I could say for any PC I've ever had.
I've had PCs for 10 years plus.
Not me.
You're in the
6 years.
minority.
5 to 6 years maximum was the most I got out of any PC I've ever had. So.
Also, I do have to give respect to those people that do use Linux and stuff and do all that hardcore coding and kernels and stuff. That's pretty crazy.
If you want to roll your own kernels,
do
man,
that stuff.
more power to you. But I'll never do that because, oh boy. But anyway, I think that's a good enough place to close off for the night. I'd like to thank our guests, Doug, the winner of trivia, and Nate, Ian's friend. Cool dude.
Came on a little bit late on the show, but
Hey.
we had him on.
We welcome him on board, man. It's a fun time. Fun times.
Yep.
And, of course, my co-host, Ian. Good to have you on this week, same as usual. Because otherwise it's just me. And I know everybody would love to just hear my dulcet tones. But, it's good to have a nice choir surrounding me and telling me how awesome I am. So anyway, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in this week. And we'll see you on the other side.
Peace.
To find out more, visit NoRightsProductions.com. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NoRights. Hey, why don't you check out my Tumblr at NoRights.tumblr.com.
You can stay here.